Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thanks to be with the Hockey National Show on the great Sunday night, December 22nd, 2024. Hopefully, an amazing, great weekend. And tonight, it's time to celebrate Christmas all together. We have a special edition of the podcast tonight. Maybe it's different like we do usually. We're going to do another amazing, great night of the celebration of the holidays 2024 tonight with its fun people going to join me as a co-host. The first hour of the show, honestly, is a weekly recap of the Montreal Canadiens like we do. But after that, we'll open the line. We invite everybody to join us talking about Christmas, talking about hockey, talking about everything, about life. Let's have a good time together. And that was the purpose to create that night called the Christmas party, the annual party of the Hockey Nation, the Habs Nation. I think it would be the good time to have, some memories of what happening during the year 2024. And I can't wait to hear from all of you going to join us live at approximately like 9:30. So be patient. We have to talk about the Montreal Canadiens. And honestly, for the last another weekly report, I have my normal co-host, Mr. Enortap, is always with me during the weekly report. Sometimes Marko pop up, sometimes Devin pop up. But tonight, the house is full. From Nova Scotia, from Hawkesbury, and from Toronto, and of course from Thailand. We are all together to celebrate Christmas party of the Hockey Nation Show. So let's further ado. Welcome back, everyone from all around the world. Enortap, Marko Larabi, and Devin the Recliner. Welcome back.
Hello,
Hey.
everyone. Merry Christmas to all.
Happy
Bueno,
holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You know, Enortap has always been the Santa Claus of the family. So welcome back. As he prepare his tour. He's going to start the next couple hours. Go the tour. He finished just his weekend at the Toronto Mall as a Santa Claus for the last 6 weeks. But now he's going to be ready for the ones coming around the world. Of course, Marko will be back in the house after a great year of 2024. Marko have not just the job location, but just a new title or a new.
Yeah. New responsibilities at work. I tried to get away with as much as possible to not have to manage other human beings, but I finally got roped into managing a team of people again. I got really lucky, though. It's a really nice team, like all over Canada. So lots of great people, but it wasn't my first choice to be responsible for other humans again, but it's been fun.
Wow, a minute. We have super chat. Jordan Tyler 32
Whoa.
did it. Mr. Enortap. Let's do it again. Super chat. Super chat number one of the night. They come from Jordan.
Hype.
Thank you so
Hype
much,
to Jordan.
to do that at the Hockey Nation Show. I think it's the first time. If not, apologize, but I think you are. So very kind, guys. Contribution is always a pleasure to have to survive the channel. So thanks, everybody. Just the fact to be here, it's already enough for me. But tonight, I think we have a great night all together. Of course, it's a great week for the Montreal Canadiens. And definitely Devin, but Devin is the rookie of the host of the Habs Nation, honestly, but not a rookie, not like a
Kirby
rookie
Doc.
because he knows a lot of things about hockey. But Devin, welcome back again with us. If you can join him, every time I try to play, it's called the show After Dark, I believe, on the Recliner Sport on the YouTube channel. It's a great place to talk about Montreal Canadiens after that. Honestly, I'm busy a lot, but a couple of people join him. So glad to see your channel is growing slowly, properly, the right way. That's what we're looking for. And thanks to be with us tonight. So glad we're going to celebrate everybody in the chat very quickly, guys. If you don't mind, cheer for Mr. Devin. Thanks so much on that one. And hopefully, it looked like possible the you know last night was funny. I think Enortap was not there anymore, but and Devin was not there, but someone called him Marko an Arab last night about that, and then Vic Leperson, uh, Vic Leperson, I said, I was laughing, I was almost crying, and then now he said, normally Marco leave around 10:30 because the dog, everything like that. So he said, good night or whatever it is. And then I said, oh yeah, the time for the dog. Look like I now, it's time for the chameau. To use the chameau about that. So it was funny to see that. So people have Marco, you left, but people was also talking about this. It was a good time for everyone. So glad to see everyone, guys. Appreciate that. We'll go to tour around. Harry is with us. Harry can wait to talk to us at 9:30. Now go at 9:40. We're going to get killed by Harry. So 9:30, we're going to stop by. Luciano Moderator, welcome back. Talking about the Toronto Maple Leafs. Last a big game yesterday, I think 6-3, the final score.
Oh yeah. Who'd they lose to?
Yeah. So we'll
Who'd they
see.
lose to?
John is with us. Dan et Colette. Merry Christmas, Dan Asham from Winnipeg. Hopefully see you live. Dan, long time we not see you. Dan, so hopefully see you tonight. Luciano, but he promised us Enortap is going to be live with us tonight.
All right. Sounds good to
We'll see
me.
what happened about that one over there. And Roy is back from Thailand. Roy is in Bangkok. It's chilly in Thailand. It's a really great week. It's about 73 in the morning. It's really, I love those kind of
Chilly.
yeah. It's
We don't
like,
want to hear that, Coach. We don't
you
want to
know,
hear that.
no, but
When
it's
we're at
really
minus
nice. It's not
it's
hot.
minus
Hot
18
coming
here
soon.
right now.
So,
It's
Yeah,
minus
exactly.
18 where I live right now. Yeah.
yeah, I understand. I apologize for the people all in the snow. It's cold or whatever they are. But
No, we love the snow. The snow is beautiful, man. Love the snow.
here we go. Abby Nation back in the house. I'm having Christmas tacos for dinner. Here we go. Abby Nation, great to see that. Sebastian number 2 is in the house. Welcome back. Following by Jeremy N. Welcome, Jeremy N. RG Calabro is in the house also. Butch is in the house. Welcome back. Hopefully doing well, Butch. Yeah, I ate my eggs earlier this morning, Butch. And it was good. RG Calabo gave all the update. Martin Besdip, from where? From Sherbrooke is in the house. And from Waterloo is in the house tonight. Martin, hopefully you have an amazing, great holidays with your family and your friends. Jordan, again, thanks so much for your super chat tonight. And then we have a couple of AK is in the house watching who? The Edmonton Oilers play against Ottawa Senator at the end of the first period, still 1-0. Victor Adderson score a goal for the Edmonton Oilers.
I was going to pick him up in the
program so far. Really great day for the Montreal Canadiens. Did not play today. You know that?
Yeah.
Because the Ducks beat the Utah. That's a good news for the Calgary Flames. The Rangers lost. That's a good news for Calgary Flames. If the Senator lost, good news for the Calgary Flames. And if the Kraken can lose against Colorado, this is a great news for the Calgary Flames, for the Montreal Canadiens. We'll see. The wish list is coming very soon. Sandeman is in the house. Welcome back. PLW back in the house. PLW. I think he was on the celebration last night. Mr. PLW. Philip Brand from Sherbrooke. See, I miss Martin Waterloo and Philip from Sherbrooke with Nicolas. Sif is out. Merry Christmas to you too. Thanks. Jack McCool. This is a big name. I said this is the best name in the sport, and any sport to announce Jack McCool. Tony DeMarc, the Tiger is in the out. Claude Richard, neighbor of ex-neighbor of Marko, but now is the Ottawa. Gary Cornoyer back. Gary Cornoyer, guys, is exhausted. He don't want to see anybody for the next 5 days. Don't want to drive nowhere. He wants to sit in the couch and don't move nowhere. Gary, he need some rest right now after an amazing 6 week of delivery. And
especially with the postal strike, it must have been even worse this year with the postal strike in Canada. Yikes.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it?
we were talking about that last time.
I don't follow a lot of things, but I heard like Amazon is strike. Is it affect Canada too?
It's not Amazon. There was a
It,
postal strike in Canada, but it's resolved now. So
Okay.
all the
but
other
there's parts
carriers,
in the
like
states,
was there Amazon strikes in the
parts in
U.S. too?
yeah, at selected spots, and it's been slowly increasing.
Okay.
So we'll see what it progresses to, but it doesn't look good, right? It'll definitely slow down packages.
You work for Amazon, just careful because the robots will get you. You ever see
Yeah,
inside one of the warehouses in Amazon? Like it's
it's
scary, man. The amount of
amazing.
crazy robots in there, man. Terminator 2 style robots.
Interesting to hear that. After that, we have anybody? Jeremy Allah back in the house. Jeremy, welcome back, Barry. Mr. Kenneth back in the house. Kenneth is another one from Thailand, Devin. Long,
Oh,
long time here.
okay.
He's a long, long time here. Kenneth has been with him for 15 years. He met someone, he fell in love, and now he's a farmer, whatever. It's a great life he has, Kenneth. Alex McLean. I love this name too. Alex, welcome back. I think Alex is in Nova Scotia or in the Maritime. I could be completely wrong. I would take a guess on that
With it
one. Alex
with a
McLean.
name like Alex McLean, there's a really strong chance that that person is in Nova Scotia.
Really?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Kevin Tang. Welcome back, Kevin. 9:30. Felix Navida, F7. Here we go, Steven. Love that one over there. Bushes. Joyeux Noël. Dana Sherm again. Try to pick up everybody, guys, in case we forgot. Special edition tonight. Alex K back in the house. Alex K. Big fans of who? Uri Sakoski. The app winning make the world better. Yeah, of course it is. Make a Run with Kings moderator. Hopefully see Ron tonight. We invite Ron to join us. Ron been with us in the beginning of the long time. Moderator, great support of the channel. So Ron, hopefully see you tonight and after 9:30. And maybe AK, if we do a quiz, AK will join us live. Maybe fake it. And Rabinap, welcome back. Happy holidays, Mr. And Rabinap. Yamo! Yamo Moy. It's what? Yamo in Finland language. Happy
Moi, moi.
holidays or Merry Christmas. Maybe AK can tell us right away on that one. I was here trying to pick up
AK was on
anyone,
my
guys.
show. AK was on my show last week, and he taught me how to properly pronounce Patrick Laine.
Laine.
Laine. Not
Sach,
Laine, not Laine, Laine.
he called Sash Blackhawks a big win for Enortap and the fantasy football, Mr. Enortap. Be careful what's going on right there with him, but it looked like he's ready to beat you or to do something. Are you enough to accept? Devin Hart is in the house, guys. Devin Hart, welcome back, Devin. Long time to see you, my friend. Merry Christmas. Alex McLean, guy, is in Nova Scotia. Chin chin, I got
You're
it.
right.
I got it.
Well,
Try to get everybody. Remember
Devin got it.
that. Moi means hello or salute. No, I know that, Yamo. I want to know Merry Christmas. Yamo. That's the first word we learned from you, Merry Moi. Ken Winford is in the house. Winford, like that name, like last name. Perfect. Devin, Jordan Taylor, Lane is out and on, and now to get Lonnie is here too. Here we go, guys. That's how we did everything. Let's move on for what we're supposed to do tonight about the Montreal Canadiens. When I don't watch the Montreal Canadiens, what I do, Marko?
Watch Demidov at 3 in the morning.
Yeah. After that,
After that, you
Hope.
watch every junior player that's drafted by Montreal, including any water boys that might have scouting reports on somebody that Montreal might scout from the WHL.
yeah, absolutely right. But also, I follow the Calgary Flames. Marko.
Yes.
Of course.
And the Flame before the game today are 14, 39 points, 574 winning percentage, 49 game remaining with 43 points to reach the total, of course, of 82. I'll give them approximately again 470, approximately, it's not exactly. And then they are to reach the 23rd. It's a 485 now, the highest winning percentage right there. So the chances are increasing right there for the Montreal Canadiens. We won Montreal, Calgary finished between 11 to 16. Whatever they made the playoff, it's not better for me. Better they will be close to 10, they'll be better for Montreal Canadiens. But looking good for the Montreal Canadiens until we see. I'm a little bit nervous more about what they're going to do, honestly. If they're going to go on the rebuild or retools or whatever it is. Honestly, the trade deadline could be a big, major key for the Flame until the end of the season and for the Montreal Canadiens pick. But we're definitely going to give you everything update about the Calgary Flames. About that, during the weeks, not that one. For the Montreal Canadiens, during the weeks, we'll go through this and then we'll talk about the boat weekend. Montreal trade Justin Barron for Alexandre Carrier. Ken Hughes was in Russia with Vincent Lecavalier and Pobrave to watching Demidov with Konishkov. And then Lenny scored his hat trick with the Montreal Canadiens against the Buffalo Sabres. Sakeski now go now on the first line for the last two games. And finally, the four line have an amazing, great week. Jake Evan, Emil Eneman, and of course, Joel Armia. And the Montreal Canadiens on the week, a perfect week for the Montreal Canadiens this week with 3-0-0, first time of the year. And we want to congratulate Devin for that one. Devin with a 6 point, predict the 3-6 point. I think Abination did it or someone else did it with a 6 points. So congratulations on that one for all prediction. Montreal for the first time, Marko, this rare. Marko, he really look about the gold differential many times, right? And the differential guys, the plus 11, I cannot recall it the last time I see that, the double digit. Under Martin said, this may be the first time.
The first.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, it's not often that Montreal's won 3 games in a row, period, right? So, when you're going to win 3 games in a row, then you're most likely to have a good differential. So those two things are probably related, Coach. Like, I'm not sure how many times they won 3 times in a row last year, but it wasn't more than once or twice. So first time this season, and definitely a huge correlation there. For those of you who are talking about how, these 2 games against Detroit don't mean anything because Detroit's been playing so badly. Don't forget, Detroit had just beaten Toronto and Philadelphia, and Philadelphia had been playing pretty good hockey too, right? Again, we know Detroit has its issues, but you can't discount those 2 wins against Detroit just because they're Detroit. They had just beaten Toronto, which was playing pretty well. So that is pretty incredible, though. I didn't know that plus 11. That's going to make a nice dent in their goal differential because I think we're at minus 28 or something.
Yeah, no, we're at minus 21 right now.
Yeah. So imagine what it was before that. So that's really good. That's really, really good.
Minus 32.
Yep. Good math.
I don't have to imagine.
We're doing the math. There we go. We're all.
Can you just imagine?
Yeah. Great comments about everything that we have new people pop up. We'll come back. When I see LDP, my life is better. Willis is back again. Jerry back from Sweden. Welcome back, Jerry. Thanks again. We have Gary also, the honor Gary to Gary. Pizza knock on the door. Welcome back, Pizza. Thanks for the super chat. Pizza did a super chat like 7:10 last night.
That was good.
Wow.
And the purpose of that is because of what?
Jake Evans?
Exactly, Marko, you nailed it on that one. Jake Evans about that one. Great. I apologize. It was not Abination. Abination finished with 4 points. Mark Elliott, predict 6 points. So with Devin, congratulations, all of you, both of you, to do that. We're going to go on the recap of the Montreal Canadiens. Honestly, really quickly. It's about 2 games for the Detroit versus Detroit Red Wings back-to-back. 3 games for the first time for the Montreal Canadiens. But again, goal differential plus 6. Honestly, the goal is plus 5. I apologize because they scored 2 goals, 3 goals, plus 1. This has 4. The 1% for the PK. The power play was at 29%. Lenny, 2 power play goal. Game-winning goal game-winning goal Friday night. Evan, 3 points. Eneman, 3 points. Hudson, 3 points. 33 shots. For the first time, over 30 shots for the Montreal Canadiens. Montreal have a 2.00 average. .935 save percentage for Montreal. I'm going to go around, guys. I'm going to go a little bit different like this. You don't have to go deep. I will give you one or two subjects. You can talk about what you pay more attention or what you saw during the two game again the Detroit with only for the Montreal Canadiens both win by the score 4-3 and 5-1. Marco.
Coach, like it's just a great weekend, right? Like for like a lot of people have been alluding to like an early Christmas present for everyone, right? Like not all of us were as wise as Devin to think that they were going to come out of that with 3 wins, but we talked about it a couple weeks ago that this is going to be such a crucial stage of games, right? Like if they would have beaten the Pittsburgh, I think that was one game that they would have liked to have back, but overall, like you have to look at this stretch of games, and we have Columbus coming up as well here. But these were just really 2 solid games, right? Like, say what you want about Detroit. Like I said, they were playing pretty good hockey. But to me, what stood out the most is Montreal's starts. Like their starts were just on fire. They did not give Detroit any opportunity to get into the game. They were just all over them right away and really, really set the tone. And as you point out here, like the key ingredient to Montreal having those strong starts for me, and I had them as like my I think as my like obscure hero for last week, was the entire fourth line. Like that fourth line, Martin St. Louis started using them to start all the games, and you can't blame him, right? Like regardless of who you put out there, who they play against in the lineup, they are dominating play down low, bringing tons of energy, creating scoring chances. Jake Evans by far right now is playing the best hockey of his career. How Martin St. Louis talks about how sometimes the game slows down for you after a while. The game seems to have really slowed down for Jake Evans. Like you can just see his patience with the puck, his poise with the puck. I've never seen him be that patient and that poise with the puck. So really, really strong games. Like it's hard to think of, again, other than Doc, again, like, taking penalties and, but listen, for me, like there's very little to focus on that's negative in these 3 games. It's just really fun. Like I talked about the last couple weeks, I just want interesting hockey. So, this to me, we've talked about this a million times, being in the mix. So to me, this is Montreal positioning themselves to stay. We're sick of using that term, so I'll say stay in the conversation, right? So we've able to finally, we're not in the last place in the Atlantic Division. That's a nice psychological thing, just to be not in last place for the first time in a long time. So to me, it's just really positive, guys. Like Alex Carrier coming in and really stabilizing the second pair. So just lots of positive things. There's the power plays clicking, penalty kill is clicking. Not very much that you can critique in this game. We know that those are struggling teams, Buffalo and Detroit, but I'd say they're at least Montreal's equal, and you have to go out and win those games. So really fun, and really sets the table for the next couple of weeks to have more fun hockey. So I'm really excited.
Go with Devin.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. You can't, you've got to beat the teams that they put in front of you, right? So again, whether Detroit's playing good, whether Detroit's playing bad, Buffalo, whether they're playing good. I mean, if you're going to become a winning team, a winning habit is beating the teams that you're supposed to beat. And, I think, Montreal beating the teams that they're supposed to beat, and then being able to compete with the teams that are sort of in the same spot that they are, right? Like, there are teams that are below them that they should beat on a regular basis. And then there's the teams that they're now competing for that sort of, wild card, spot. The Buffaloes, the Detroits, the Pittsburghs, the teams like that. Those are the teams that they're going to have to beat if they're going to step up the ladder. They're going to take the next step up the ladder to being, eventually a wild card team, then eventually a playoff team, and then, hopefully they become contenders within the Eastern Conference. So again, I mean, I don't think you can excuse, the quality of the teams that they've beaten. Not just because you have to beat everybody that they put in front of you, but also the way that they beat them, right? Like you said, they right from the very beginning, and what I've been looking for from this team, and if you're on my show, I do my report card. What I'm looking for from this team is for them to control the game, for them to start taking the game to the other team as opposed to the other way around, right? Force the other team to play your game, to react to you. The Canadians for, the better part of this season, it's like they're going in to play against another team as opposed to another team coming in to play against them. And certainly in the last 3 games, maybe even 4 or 5 games, they've been much more, in control of the game. They've been the ones who are applying the pressure. If you watch the Detroit games, it was the Detroit defensemen that were struggling with the breakout, right? Because the Canadians were putting pressure on them. It was Montreal that was controlling that pressure and controlling that play, so that the young defensemen on Detroit were turning the puck over, in their own end or in the neutral zone, and giving the Canadians an opportunity to go in and have scoring chances. So as opposed to it sort of, being the other way around, where teams were putting the pressure on the Canadians to do all that. So obviously, I'm really happy with the way things are going. Do I think this is sort of, we're going to have no more steps backward? I don't think that that's the case, but certainly this is definitely a step in the right direction. I think the competition gets quite a bit tighter, as we move into the new year. But again, this is one step forward, and going out and starting to compete with the teams that are the playoff teams in this league will be the next step forward. And I look forward to seeing if they can do that. Carrier looks good. He obviously adds another element to the defensive core. The first line is obviously firing on all cylinders right now. Slavkovsky is just about all the way back. And I guess just one quick last thing, I agree with you, Marko, about not just the fourth line, but the third and the fourth line have both been good. Even the Dvorak, Armia, Heineman line
Gallagher
has looked, really good. And what that does for me is, if those 2 lines are firing on all cylinders, then you don't mind if the second line is not quite there yet. You know what I mean? Like if you didn't have that contribution coming from the bottom 6, the lack of 5-on-5 contribution from the second line would be a lot more glaring and a lot more difficult to handle. And I think the second line is getting better, and they're coming around. And I think that because the bottom 2 lines, the third and fourth line, are playing as well as they are, it will give that second line a little bit more rope, right? It'll give them a little bit more wiggle room to be able to, find their game. It gives them a little bit of a comfort zone. Whereas, if we weren't getting that contribution from the third and fourth line, I think that, the pressure would be much more intense and much more, difficult to overcome. So all of that is a positive. I mean, if you look at the Canadiens' numbers since December 1st, the numbers are quite good. I think they're right around 3 goals for per game. They're right around 3 goals against per game, which is where they want to be, and that includes the 9-2 loss to Pittsburgh. So things are looking in the right direction. Again, I don't think that I think the roller coaster is on its way up right now. I don't think that means there's not going to be any downs for the rest of the season, but I think this is definitely a progression in the right direction for the Montreal Canadiens, and I'm excited for it.
Awesome, great. We want to thank a couple of people, if you don't mind, after before you back. Miles T is a guy from Florida, a young man. Miles, glad to see you. His family is from Sherbrooke area, so he's in town in Sherbrooke, so visit family. So glad to hear that. Jerry from Sweden. Pete Martin knocked the door. Gabriel is in the house tonight. Welcome back, Gabriel. Glad to see you, my friend. Hopefully an amazing, great weekend. You have a special day today. We're going to see about that, about this one. And then in our tab, you can go with what you think about the weekend. And I'm going to continue to answering for the people in the chat. G Fed is in the house, by the way. Joseph Phillips is in the house. Sorry.
Welcome, everyone. You guys didn't leave me much bone on the meat there, or meat on the bone, but that's okay. That's all right. I totally concur with a lot of the points you guys made. If I could just add a couple positives that I've been looking at over the course of the year as well. If you actually go back to the graphic, Coach, that you had up before, summarizing the 2 games, and you can probably even add the Buffalo game, you'll notice that if you look at the penalty kill percentage and you look at the power play percentage, I've been saying if they can hit 120% collectively between the 2, they're going to win a lot more games than they will lose. And that's what we've been seeing in the last little while. So again, it speaks to the effectiveness of their special teams, and I think that that's very important. It goes back to what Devin was saying about having, puck possession, and the face-offs have been also very good. I think we've seen improvement in guys like, Evans has been good all year. Dvorak's been decent on the face-offs as well. And to me, what really stood out, especially yesterday, I haven't seen the power play click in the fashion. Whether they scored or not, that was a bonus. But just
They
the
were
way they were
zipping it.
commanding and moving the puck around, and it wasn't just passing; they were moving themselves to spots, getting themselves into open lanes, and that's why they were able to find Laine often with that one timer. So kudos to them for having improved in that area considerably. Um, I just think it bodes well for them moving forward. And the interesting part, and I think I talked to Devin about it the other day, and is it are we going to wait for is there going to be an adjustment period for Cole Caulfield or on that power play one, or is it something that they might consider putting him on power play two just to make him more effective? What do you
Nah,
guys think?
I hate that idea, man. I love that Cole gets the opportunity to kind of do other things on the ice. I think over time, teams are going to start taking away that play for Line, and you need Caulfield as like I think it's important to have those two threats. You just need to find a way to move them around so that Caulfield, like I said, for me, I would like to see Caulfield lower on the Line is kind of higher on the left side of the ice. I'd like Caulfield to be lower on the same side of the ice, not the whole time, right? But find his way down there, and then he can find spots like how goalies are playing that reverse VH, so he can find kind of like those sneaky little spots from lower on the left side. So I would keep it the way it is. Like I don't think any reason to change anything on the power play till Demidov arrives next year. In my opinion, I would just keep everything as it is right now. We'll have we'll have a debate about Slavkovsky and Demidov, I'm sure, next year when that comes up. But I'm not sure I would do that. One thing before we move off our review, guys, one thing that I've been noticing, just I'm always interested to see how other media outlets that don't necessarily follow Montreal that closely, how they're covering the games. And one thing that I'm noticing is that every person that's not following the games, they're attributing like Montreal's success. It seems like 100% just because Line is scoring power play goals, right? So I think that's a too much of an easy explanation for the casual observer, that's just kind of looking at highlights and looking at whatever. It's a beautiful story. Like, notice we haven't talked about Line that much. We all know it's a beautiful story. But the reason Montreal is winning is the hard work that they've done since, let's say early November, right? Playing better defensively. Like, if they hadn't put in all that hard work and started playing the right way, bringing Patrick Line in, having him fill the nets on the power play wouldn't mean anything because the games wouldn't be close anyways, right? So I just feel that, we need to kind of be more vocal about the fact that Montreal's not just like, definitely it's a boost, right? To have, like, I think everybody is more
Well, of
confident
course,
with Patrick, and it's clear that the power play is performing better. But let's give a bit of a tip of the hat to Martin Saint-Louis and the whole coaching staff for getting them to play the right way and all the hard work the players have been doing to execute playing the system better, because they wouldn't be in the position they are now if that wasn't the case.
Yeah, I
and
find
keep in mind,
myself cautioning people on my show all the time, or people that I deal with all the time, about the opinions of national reporters, because these national reporters, there's no way they could follow the Montreal Canadiens close enough to have or any team close enough to have an accurate sort of idea as to why a team's doing well or not. Like, when Kevin Bieksa speaks about the Montreal Canadiens between periods on Saturday night, or Elliot Friedman goes on his podcast, or Frank Cervelli goes on his podcast, yeah, they can speak to rumors and things that they, specifics that they might have heard coming out of a specific team's, management or whatever. But as far as, sort of having an in-depth knowledge, these guys don't watch the Montreal Canadiens every night. They're watching highlights at best, if that. and they're sort of looking for the sort of the
The
sound
narrative.
bite and the easy narrative that's obvious to everybody that they can sell on their show, and everybody can sort of whether it's positive or negative. And just quickly about the power play, I mean, I like Enortap and I had a chat about this on my show the other day. I mean, I don't think I'm as against the idea of putting Caulfield on PP2 as Marko is, but I don't think it's something that they need to consider right now. It's definitely down the road. And I think it will be interesting to see the different minds at play for the Montreal Canadiens, to see them sort of look for a way to incorporate Cole Caulfield into and make him a threat, alongside Patrick Laine, whether it's putting him in the bumper position, whether it's putting him down low, as you suggest, Marko, whether it's whatever it might be, putting him more on the point. There's Caulfield's game has evolved this year to the point where he's more than just a shooter, right? He's he can create. He's a better passer now. He's a better skater now. His reads
better
are better.
defender.
So yeah, absolutely. So again, I mean, I think Suzuki has looked really, really good in the bumper position. So I don't know about that, but what if you didn't? I'm sure you guys noticed it in the last game. Laine being smart enough to realize that he can do more than just fire bombs from the face-off dot. Like twice he tried to pass across to the the far corner of the net to Slavkovsky. One time it bounced in off Sherratt, and the other time it didn't quite make it through. But like you say, eventually somebody's going to figure out how to at least slow that play down a little bit, and they're going to need to find different options off of it. As the whole team starts to collapse on Laine, they're going to have to figure out a way to to then use that to their advantage. So anyways, I spoke too long, so I'll let that go. But yeah, I think all interesting points.
And keep in mind also, this is only 7 games that Laine has been back, right? I mean, he's
8.
still
9?
8. Is
9?
it 8? No, I don't think it's that high.
It's 9, I think. It's 9.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, is it?
8 goals in 9 games.
Yeah.
8 goals in 9 games.
Yeah. And so he's not really in game shape form yet. Like that's probably one of the two reasons. Like his cardio is not 100% there yet. That's why we're not seeing that translated to 5-on-5. It is, of course, but it takes time because he's been off, not just with the injury in Montreal, but remember in Columbus as well, and then when he went into the program as well. So it's been a while for him, but he'll get there, and he'll be that much more effective when eventually he's reached peak.
But you can't critique his 5-on-5 play. Like, to me, he's been really
well. He doesn't
good
have partners. He doesn't have partners, really.
Like to me, like he's on the right side of the puck all the time. He's winning battles. He's like to me, his 5-on, like to me, he's been the best guy on that line.
I'm not critiquing him, Marko. I'm just saying it'll be better. It'll be better.
It's getting better.
Yeah.
And if you noticed him last night, his game has come around. Like last night on 5-on-5, I thought he looked like substantially even better than he had previously. And I mean, this is a really, really small thing, but if you noticed, he's back to doing that sort of straight leg kind of thing that he does when he wants to slow down, and the thing that everybody criticized him for and said it was his own fault that he hurt his knee because he sticks his leg out like that. Well, Caulfield was doing it last night too. I mean, anyway, it's a thing that players do, but it demonstrates to me that he's not out there, protecting his leg. He's not out there thinking, oh, I don't want to get hurt again. He's not out there hesitating or whatever. He's out there playing his game. And I thought last night 5-on-5 was substantially better than he's been. Again, I'm not saying he's been bad. I'm just saying, and I think what Enortap is saying is that we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg of this guy. Like, there were a couple of times where he was one move away. I think at least twice last night where he was one move away from making a really spectacular, scoring opportunity where he beat 2 or 3 guys and just couldn't beat the last guy, or the puck, slid off his stick at the last second. He's pretty close to being special on 5-on-5.
Yeah, and one thing you're hearing a little bit more. Yeah, there's that toe drag move that he did that he just barely got the poked away from him at the last minute. But I think I saw this. I think it was on the eye tests. I think with Pierre McGuire brought it up. I can't remember where, but I had the same. I think I brought it up in the chat that night too, even before I heard it. But at some point, like I think Devin, I remember you disagreed with me in the chat about that. about the idea of kind of at certain points in the game trying line A with Jake Evans, right? Because Jake Evans, like I was saying right now, his vision and his poise with the puck, is the best that I've ever seen it, right? So I know that you would be really hesitant to break up that fourth line with Heineman and Armia right now. But let's say, and like Montreal hasn't trailed that much, right? But let's say you were trailing in a game. It would be interesting to, if Doc isn't going in a game, I'd like to see St. Louis have like an in-game adjustment where if Evans is playing this way, then try him for a couple of shifts. Like if you're trailing with Line A and with Armia, or keep Heineman up there or whatever, right? Because I would really, really like to see what it would look like with Line A playing with a centerman that actually can read plays and create space for him and things like that, right? So, we're not
Why
seeing
not
it
to
from
put
Kirby
him on the first line with Suzuki Caulfield?
To me, I don't love that, right? Because I would rather kind of keep Slav up there and not kind of have all of your eggs in one basket, personally. And then you have 3 right shots all on the same line. So I would prefer to just have Evans move up, just because he's playing that well. And I'm not like, and if let's say it works, like let's say you do it because you're trailing in a game, like you never know until you try, right? Like I know that St. Louis right now, he's talked about it a lot. And I agree, Coach and Enortap, we've been talking about this for years. The way that Montreal's roster is going to be built, because we don't have a Matthews, a McDavid, or a McKinnon or whatever, you're going to have to build 4 lines deep. You're going to have to come waves and waves and waves. And that's when we saw that Montreal was able to trade for Patrick Laine. That was the first thing that we talked about. We're like, this does a lot for Montreal's depth, right? Like, say what you want, Montreal's bottom 6, I would put it up against a lot of different competitive teams in the NHL. Like,
Sure.
name me
I'm
like
searching Marko right now. I'm looking. I'm almost finished, but the goal for line right now, Montreal is the top 4.
Yeah, to me,
Not surprising.
I would challenge you to find 10 teams with a better bottom 6 than Montreal. I would challenge you, right?
We knew that at the beginning of the year, right, Marko? We knew the bottom 6 would be solid for the Montreal Canadiens. At the flip side, the second line is really what was not expected. Imagine the second line play only better, a little bit better, and I think that would be a great way. We have to move on, guys. 9-70. We did not go a lot on that one. A lot of people in the chat, guys. We welcome everybody. It's hard for me to catch up with everyone one by one, but we want to wish you, everybody, a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday. We're going to open the line the next 15 minutes about that. Great comments and the guys in the chat. I really appreciate it. But before we move, guys, we have to go there. It's a special night. It's not like it's a fun.
Happy birthday to you.
Gabriel!
Happy birthday to you.
Gabriel!
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Gabriel, happy birthday, my friend, for the Hockey Nation and the Hab Nation. Glad to have you aboard tonight, everybody. Happy birthday to Mr. Gabriel. So a lot of great comments in the chat.
I were singing happy birthday to Jesus for a sec there, but okay, happy birthday, Gabriel.
RJ was also birthday Wednesday, I believe. So happy birthday also for RJ about that one.
Oh,
yeah. And
we have breaking news, Coach. Breaking news. It looks like Allmark will not return to the game. There's some kind of injury on his.
Yeah, I'm watching. I have the game.
Is it serious? Is it serious?
I didn't see it, but they have the same backup that played last night. But it's 1-1 now, Ottawa and Edmonton. But yeah, he didn't start the second period.
I didn't see Ottawa right now, by the way.
Yeah.
Capo scored a goal for Kraken right now.
Yes, sir. That's a sneaky good
assist on that one. I have an assist.
Sure it is.
About that. Will be interesting. It's fun to watching a lot of things going around the league. All right. Quickly, I'm going this way. Devin, the stood out of the week for the Montreal Canadiens. The best player you did for Montreal. The 3-game Buffalo, Detroit. And Enortap, Marko is the best for the obscure. Marko, you find it really good about that. And Enortap, I'll go to you at the office because you're the guy that work as a teacher, so you have to bring someone at the office, a student. So let's move on with Devin. The first one, the the Avalanche guy take the lead 3-2. Kivi Ranta score his 8 goals of the year. Kivi Ranta have a great week. I believe now that's 3 goals this week for him. With the Colorado Avalanche, a good pick of him for the ex Dallas Star. What he did in the playoff in 2020, Marko. Kivi Ranta.
Didn't he scored at least one overtime winning goal for Dallas, if not 2 in a row or something like that, right?
Yeah, something like that. That's something else.
Yeah. Kiviranta. Well, that's what he's famous for, is scoring those overtime winning goals for Dallas.
Yeah, that game, what he has.
Hat trick.
Hat trick.
Yeah.
Was it hat trick?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
was it hat trick?
3 goals.
Yeah. Hat trick. I believe it could be the game number 7 or 6.
Yeah, he was clutch for those Dallas teams.
And that game moved them to go to the final. My only thing I'm not remember, it was again the which team. That's what I'm not remember. That'd be the final Western Conference. But that year is strange, right? It was the COVID. Was the year before COVID, so cannot remember which one.
Yeah, I just remember.
Yamo confirmed Kivanka scored 3 goals and the final goal on overtime on that one. That team moved on the next one. So great to see that. So Devin, I apologize. I'm going to move on quickly, guys. We have about 10 minutes to move on.
Yeah, I'll go quick. I mean, the obvious choice would be Patrick Laine if we were looking at all the national coverage. I'm not going to do that. Another obvious choice, I think, would be Jake Evans. I'm not going to do that either. I think he would be very deserving. Don't get me wrong. Both of those guys would be very deserving. But I'm going to go with Lane Hutson, and I'm going to tell you why. Lane Hutson is a guy who is progressing linearly, right? We're continuously told that progress and development doesn't happen linearly. Well, it is with Lane Hutson. And what I have taken from Lane Hutson is, if you remember, not last game, but the game before, he gave up 2 really bad turnovers where he basically he had turnovers that led directly to goals. And, for a 20-year-old defenseman in the NHL, that would be a death knell. It would be something that they would struggle with for weeks and weeks and weeks. It would be a major problem. Not Lane Hutson. Lane Hutson turned around, drew a penalty late in the game, participated in the game-winning goal, and then came back the next game and was stellar defensively, basically flawless defensively in the following game. And for a team that is still, for the most part, in development mode, that is what stands out to me, is your ability to, as a young player, to be able to learn from your lessons, to develop, to progress, to get better, and to be an example to your teammates. And to me, in that sense, while you could certainly pick guys who had flashier weeks or had, more headline-worthy weeks, I'm going to go with Lane Hutson.
Dude, how can you argue with that, man? He's now 10th overall in defensive scoring, 2nd in rookie scoring.
He's almost caught up to
do you know who is
Michkov.
just quickly? Do you know who is 6th in rookie scoring in the NHL right now?
Is it Heineman?
Isn't it?
Emil Heineman.
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
Sneaky Calder Trophy nominee.
Yeah. No, great pick, man. Hard to argue with that. I think almost probably 80% of my stood outs have been Hutson, just because he's very Hudson-y. So for my obscure guys, this might be surprising, right? But it alludes to kind of what we're just talking about with the power play. But I'm going to say the obscure hero for me is Cole Caulfield, because Cole Caulfield, we were just talking about how, everybody right now in the NHL is talking about Patrick Laine, Patrick in the power play, all these goals in the power play. And that's Cole Caulfield's thing, right? Easily it could be an identity crisis for a player like that. He could be pouting, but to the opposite, man. You can see how happy he is for the team. I am so impressed with how much he's putting the team ahead of his own production and his own output. And he's getting his apples, right? A lot of those assists from Patrick Laine goals, you see Caulfield is in the right circle. It's going down to him, passing it back to Hutson, and then back to the other side. and teams have to respect Caulfield on that right side still, right? So he's still attracting coverage. So for me, that he's the obscure hero because he's still doing his thing. He's still adding value, and he's not letting all the glory that Patrick and all the attention that Patrick Laine is getting, affect his happiness and his overall kind of passion for how well the team is going. So it takes a special kind of individual to put the team first and do what's right for the team, even though that's his normal spot. So kudos to him. Obscure hero of the week, Cole Caulfield.
Enortap, someone go to the office?
Yeah, absolutely. You play 3 games where you outscore your opponents. What was it, 15-5 or thereabouts? And you fail to get a point in those games. And I'm talking by a regular visitor that's been going to the office, and that's Alex Newhook. 0 points. I think he was in those 3 games collectively, he was a -3. And I just, more than anything else, I just am not liking the body language. He seems to be disengaged. Yeah, he doesn't seem to be really engaged in the game. Something is on his mind. I could be totally off on this, but it's just that feeling I get when maybe it's his mustache that it gives him that appearance. I don't know, but
he had those great rushes last game though. Like there's 2 times he got right in, and like I don't know, like he was moving pretty good to me last game.
Well, he's definitely got the speed. He's probably one of the fastest players on the team, right? No doubt about that. And he can create for himself if he wants to. But I don't know. Sometimes he's on the wrong side of the puck. It doesn't look like there's much chemistry going with his line mates. He's been going to the office a little bit too often. I'm starting to think suspension at this point. Figuratively speaking.
Interesting. Not the guy with
something to I'm going to give me not all 3, but I'm going to go one thing, guys. I want to give this for the coaching staff. For me, coaching staff changed a lot of things. Edmonton just scored power play goal. I think it's Hyman. Hyman, it would be the first star of the week. Anyhow, I will give you the reason behind that. Martin St. Louis said I'm going to be in charge about the power play. Power play looking better. The PK under 7 Rapidas is looking better and better. This week, perfect week for the Montreal Canadiens on the PK. Pretty amazing. 0-13 or 13-13, I believe they are. I think this is another way after that. I will give another credit for Martin St. Louis. I think this is the first time under Martin St. Louis, guys. It's happened a lot. The balance of the time management of all the players for the 4 line. No one play under 20 minutes, over 20 minutes, and no one play under 10 minutes. This is the way he rolled his line better. His management of the game was better for Martin St. Louis. Now, it's easy when you have a team play better, but still, we have to give credit. And finally, I know many have complained him about the man-to-man hybrid, but the man-to-man hybrid the last couple of games, guys, is looking better and better. Although the fact you remove the 3rd period of the 6th goal against Pittsburgh, and check the month of December, you can see the goal again is really lower and never happened before October. And if you look about the stat of Montembeault, guys, and every month he's getting better and better and better. And you say, oh, Montembeault is better. Yes, but the system in front of him is better. And you have a better chemistry between the forward and the defenseman together. So I just want to mention that because he got a lot of heat sometime, Martin St. Louis, about the system since the beginning of the season. So I want to go that way, guys. I want to finish this one very quickly. I have about 10 things to talk about, but it will be too far for that one. We're going to keep the wish list on the next segment when we bring everybody in the chat, if you don't mind about that. Not Evans, not that's part of there. You want to do the clash? I have a really good clash for all of you, and then we're going to move on. Is this fair enough?
Go ahead.
Your show, man.
There we go. Let's go to the clash. Devin loved the prediction, so I said, why not to go with prediction for Devin tonight? This is a celebration. Here we go. We're going to go that way. We're going to start with Enortap to go to Marko to Devin. The first one, Savard gone at the trade deadline. Enortap, absolutely another law.
100% definitely. Absolutely. I think part of the reason to get Carrier coming over here was to bring somebody that was also experienced on the right side. It opens up the door. Like right now, unfortunately, Strubal's the odd man out just because of the way things are. But I think once Savard is gone, Strubal's back in there. So definitely, I say absolutely.
Marko?
And I
Not
also,
at all.
sorry, I also say that because I'm frequently in one of the uh, chats on out of Winnipeg, and Dan would know about this as well. And the Winnipeg reporters have been saying that Winnipeg has been pursuing Savard as their third pairing on their team. So I wouldn't be surprised if he lands there.
For me, guys, I'm going to say not at all. Like, unless it's not at all, unless you're getting a first round pick, and I'm not sure a team's going to pay that. To me, like I've said this for a long time, like Savard's value to the team. I'm not sure about next year, right? But for sure for this year is more valuable than getting a third round or a second round pick. To me, bringing in Carrier, it's like remember Hughes has said before he doesn't want to move in a sideways, right? So to me, you bring in Carrier and you're pretty much where you were before. You only have one experienced right hand shot. So to me, like you're no further ahead than you were before you did that. You bring in Struble, and now he has to play right, and he struggled on the right. So to me, unless you're getting a first round pick, not at all. Keep him, even if you're walking him to free agency and get nothing for him. I still want the team to play important games, be in games, play well, and I would be even open to signing him as a seventh defenseman as an insurance policy in case Mayu or Reinbacher can't make the team next year.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I think, which is really weird to say, but I mean, I think if they do get that trade offer that blows their socks off, I think there's no doubt that he's gone, and I think that one of the reasons why Carrier is there is because he allows them to at least think about that. But you're absolutely right, Marco, in that if they get rid of another right-handed defenseman, then they're kind of back where they were again. Sort of shuffling Gooley on his offside and doing all this kind of stuff that they need to do. I personally have no problem with Struble. I like Struble. If he was right-handed, I think it wouldn't bother me at all. But the idea that you're losing that right-hander, especially given how uncertain Mayu and Reinbacher are for at least the next year or so, it's tough to say. Coach and I had a really good chat about this actually the other night on the show. About Savard really enjoying Montreal, wanting to be a part of the organization. He moved his family, his wife loves the city, his kids go to school there. He wants to retire there. So I think that there's a lot of value in that as well, and the idea that he might be agreeable to coming back at a really hometown friendly deal and become your your bottom pairing defenseman, or maybe even your seventh defenseman for years to come, or even going somewhere at the trade deadline and then coming back when his contract is up. So I am going to at the end of the day, I think I'm going to agree with Marco and say not at all. But again, I wouldn't be shocked because I think the market for him at the deadline, as a solid
Right-handed
defensive right-handed
defenseman
defenseman, yeah, who's
that
got
can kill
Stanley Cup
penalties.
experience, is going to
Yeah.
be huge. But again, I'm still going to lean towards not at all.
And after what
Sorry,
you said?
Enortap.
I said absolutely.
Okay, not at all. I'm going to go with David Savard. So let's move on to the next one on this one. Evans gone at the trade deadline. I'm going to go with Devin, Marko, and
Okay, this is a tough one for
he
me.
said okay.
I'm going to say not at all. I'm going to say not at all. I think it's possible. I certainly hope it's not at all. I think he could potentially be an ideal fourth liner for this team for a decade. I hope they keep him. I know the money will be the issue, but I'm going to say not at all, mainly because I really, really hope he stays with the team. I think he would be again, we talk about right now how great the bottom six is and how awesome it is to have that. Having Jake Evans, I'm not going to say it guarantees that for the next decade, but it certainly puts you right in that conversation for having a top level bottom six in the league for a long time to come if you've got Jake Evans in there.
Guys, I'm on the record on this. For me, it's absolutely not at all. Montreal would immediately be worse next year. I know some of you think Beck can come in and take that spot, but that's easier said than done. Playing the most minutes in the NHL and the PK, having all the key defensive draws, playing under that pressure. Let Beck come in and win a spot. I'm all open to that, but you can't just give him that spot and expect that he's going to do that. And if you think, like, we're already seeing that Hughes is making moves to win now. Carrier is a clear pivot from the Montreal Canadiens organization, saying that they want to win now, right? They're not thinking they're going to make the playoffs, but they're making moves for now. So to me, it would be completely the opposite direction to not sign Jake Evans, because you don't have anybody in the pipeline that's ready. And if they are great, they can come and steal a spot, but I don't think that's the case. And I don't think you're going to find anybody in the free agency that is anywhere near that. And if you are, it's going to cost just the same. So stay with the guy that you know. To me, it's just a no-brainer that you have to get this done.
And don't forget. I mean, Beck and Evans can play together. Like, there's nothing stopping them from playing. I mean, I get that they're both centermen, but there's no rule that says that one of them can't move to the wing. And I think the two of them on a fourth line together with a Florian Jacki or a Luke Tuck or an Emil Heineman, that's Stanley
I'm not
Cup
saying
contending fourth line.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's not to say Beck can't crack the lineup next year, but for you to expect that you're going to be better next year with Beck in Evans' current role, and that you think Beck is going to give you exactly like the same level that Evans is giving you, it could happen, but it's not likely. And if it does, great. Let him win that spot, and then you can move Evans. Like, Evans is going to be still he's still be a commodity, right? Like, so to me, it's a no-brainer.
Enortap?
Well, I'll agree with that. I think that he's very valuable for Montreal. The issue here is you have to look at it from a different perspective. I'm just playing devil's advocate here as well. His value right now is at the highest it's ever been. And we talked about this with Matheson last year, Marko, if you recall. And we said, if you get the right deal out there, then it's something you consider, regardless of the experience that he brings or whatever the case might be. And I would argue I would argue the same with Evans, because he's going to be in high demand. Like, it's very similar to a Lehkonen that went to Colorado. Like, he's at his highest value right now. For Lehkonen, it worked out really well.
How'd it work out for Montreal?
Yeah. Well, that particular trade wasn't. Didn't they get a Heineman out of that as well, or
Barron?
No, they got Hayes. You
could argue
Barron become Michael Edge, and Barron become Alexandre Carrier. So it's not too bad. So it's around to be too bad if Michael Edge carrying that one over
Exactly. So I mean, I'm gonna say not at all, but it's very enticing if the right deal comes along.
But the difference, you're making the comparison to Matheson. The difference is that Montreal has tremendous depth on the left-handed side of their defense. So we were making that argument about Matheson because you have so many guys there, right? You can't say the same about Montreal's depth at center. Not at all. We're not even sure if Kirby Dach is a center yet, guys. So
the other side of the he's at his highest value right now. The other side of that, that coin or whatever you want, the other side of that knife or the other edge is that he's at his highest value right now. If you can get him to give the Canadians a hometown discount because of the opportunity that they've given him, and because of the allegiance, again, I don't know the guy, I don't know what kind of person he is. He seems like he's a pretty good fella. Is he willing to allow Montreal to keep him? And he wants to be a part of something that he's been a part of for the last 2.5 years, and he wants to see this through, and he wants to stay with this group. If you can get him to to sign for a lesser amount than what he might get, then that him being at his highest value and you being able to get him at a discount now works to your benefit instead of your detriment, right?
Yeah, and that's a different conversation altogether. But I agree with that. Like I've always maintained, if you get them for the right price and the term is not long, and by long I mean more than 5 years, then it's definite you keep him. But if his agent's going to come along and say, I want 3.5 million for 5 years, I say there are comparables out there that are a lot cheaper and are very similar. Like a Mason Appleton comes to mind.
Mason Appleton. He's not a center, man. He doesn't play center.
Yeah, he does. Marko.
He's listed as a center.
He's played on both sides. I put together a whole list. I don't have it with me right now, but
you can take any goal for 1 year at $1 million over Jake Evans. If Jake Evans won 3.5 for 5 years, I will sign only Jake Evans me a 4 years contract at 2.5. I extend to at $12 million. Otherwise, I don't keep Jake Evans. It's not going to work. On the money, it's not going to work when you're going to pay after that. During the transition of 4 years, you have to pay Demidab, you have to pay Hudson. I'll just give you two of them. We talk about $17, $18 million right there. They kick out the Sarkowski, going to kick. You have to repay after that Patrick Laine. It's going to be harder for Montreal Canadiens. And look what Ken Hughes did. He's always find a way to pay the player under the value of what he's supposed to get on the market. Look what the contract could be at that time. Look the contract Alex Nehuk. Look the contract Caden Coley. He signed Caulfield and Sarkowski under the Suzuki. So I expect the same thing with Jake Evans if he wants to stay in Montreal. That, for me, it's not about what he get in value at the trade deadline. It's not going to help him a lot, Montreal Canadiens anyway. You're not going to get a first-round pick for Jake Evans. He's a 4-line, guys. Well, no. He's a 4-line. If you said he's the best PK, guys, I can give you 10 players play PK. Mitch Marner is not a PK guy. He's a great PK. Connor Brown is a good PK. It's a PK is not like the most important things on your asset when you play the game. It's a good asset. But maybe PK with Jake Evans have a great support by his player beside him is Joel Armia. The chemistry is right there. So for me, consider Jake Evans, guys. I think it's a little bit too higher. I think you overrated Jake Evans, in my opinion, are 4-line players in NHL. We don't talk about a guy who costs 15 goals and 20 goals. He never reached that number. He's 28 years old. So that to be honest,
he's on pace for almost 60 points.
What?
He's on pace for like 55 points.
You really believe Jake Evans is going to get 60 points, 50 points?
Well, I don't know whether he's going to get it or not, but he's on pace for that. He's got 19 points and 30. Well, he's on pace for between 50 and 55 points.
Yeah, he's
that's
playing
a pretty good
his best
fourth liner. There's not a lot of There's not a lot of fourth liners that are giving you 50 points and being that good.
Okay, I'll give you a comparison. Daniel Sprong, how many goals he did in the last 2 seasons?
I can't believe you're comparing Daniel Sprong to Jake Evans.
I ask you. No, I'm not comparing the player. I ask you how many goals he has, Daniel Sprong, as a 4-liner.
I have no idea.
This year?
19 goals?
Well, a couple of years ago when he was with Seattle.
The last 2 seasons, an average of 19 goals, I believe.
Yeah, in Seattle,
right? So he did not have a contract under $1 million this year.
That's because he's a one-dimensional player, coach.
No, my point behind that, Marko, why is because he's a guy playing on the 4-line.
No, because
this is my point behind that. This is the point behind that. He got only less of $1 million. The team does not have enough money to carry on a player under $3 million on the 4-line.
But that doesn't mean he's not a good player. Like, that's the thing, though. Jake Evans is on the 4th line, and what makes him great is that he's good enough to be on the third line, but he's going to be your fourth liner. Like that's the whole idea. Like, the idea that, you can't, I agree with you. You can't afford to pay him too much money, but at the same time, if the cap is
end of
going
the
to go
censor,
up,
Devin, it will be if Montreal
So,
considers Jake Evans as a third line center
Yeah.
next season, right? Now
He's
he's
gonna
going to
be their
get that
third line
money
center.
at $3 million, maybe $4 million.
He's going to be Montreal's third line center next year, guys. Dvorak's
Okay,
not going to
but
be
do
there.
you really believe
but-
Jake Evans is going to score 20 goals next year? Is going to 50 points, 40 points?
Probably. Like, I think he could easily get 30 to 40 points on your third line. Yeah, for sure. Based on what we're seeing, absolutely. Depends who he plays with. So
if Jake Evans,
like,
if Jake Evans
I
is
don't
your
see
fourth
that.
line center and he's making $3 million a year, you are a contender. Assuming that means that the players that are on the lines above him are good, as good at their roles as he is at his role as a fourth liner. As a fourth liner, Jake Evans as a fourth line center in the NHL, you can talk about Daniel Sprong and you can whoever you. Jake Evans, I mean, you said you could name 10 that would be better than him as a fourth line center. I think that's what you said. I'd be interested in
Now,
seeing
what
that
we
list.
said is this, and after I've said what he said, and I said, at the four line, it's not better. A cheaper player can accomplish almost what Jake Evans does. That's the point behind that. You cannot carry the
That's
player
what
at
I'd like
the
to see
four
that
line
list.
on
See,
you
I
cannot
think
carry
I
the
think
players.
part of the problem. I
You
think
cannot
part of
carry
the
the player
problem
at
is
$3 million on the four line. If Jake Evans is your third center and you believe you become a good team to make the playoff a contender, we are in the trouble.
in the short term, guys, because think about it this way, right? Dvorak's not going to be there next year, we think, right? Unless he's willing to sign for a lot less and they decide to do that. But really, we only know for sure the two centers that we know for sure are NHL caliber right now are Suzuki and Evans, right? And Dvorak. So if you don't have Dvorak, let's say you do sign Evans and you have him as your third line center, you're still going to need to go sign another, like those other centers that you get, like a Gord or whoever it is that you're looking for. You're going to still need to go get another fourth line center because Evans is probably going to be your third line center unless Beck can come in and then, like I said, win a spot over either Evans or whoever they sign as a UFA to play that fourth line center, whether it's Dvorak or another fourth line. So really next year, and then we haven't even talked about the second line center, which we all know is the biggest hole in the organization right now, right? So, guys, like to me, it's important they have a known commodity, so they have the opportunity to negotiate with him right now. So you would think, like, you're right, coach, like Hughes has been a really good negotiator, so let's just hope that he can keep it around that 3 million. But I won't bat an eye if they sign him for 4 years at 3.45 or 3.5. I'm not going to shit my pants because of that, because I know the cap is going up. It's not going to be the end of the world. Like, look in the past, like
Way up.
Dano, you lost Dano for like 400 grand. Is that are you willing to do that again?
But the cap going up is also commensurate with what the players are making. They're all making more money, so it's relative.
No,
to
but
that
there's a new
situation.
CBA coming.
That's
like
not true.
instead of
though.
making
CBA coming.
That's not true. There's players that
Yeah,
are
I
already
know.
locked in. There's players that are already locked in. Like if the salary cap worked that your salary was based on the percentage of the cap that you have, then yeah, your salary would be going up. But Suzuki, Slavkovsky, Caulfield,
Yes,
Gouli,
yes,
all
those guys, those
locked
guys,
in.
yes, Marco. But the ones whose contracts are coming up, well, they'll be obviously demanding commensurate to whatever the cap is, right? So they're going to be taking their relative amount, which will end up being more than maybe a Suzuki, and I'm talking about eventually, somebody like Hudson or whoever the case might be.
Yeah.
So,
But
I mean,
by that time,
it's-
Gallagher's going to be gone. Anderson's going to be gone. Like again, like you can only deal with what's in front of you right now.
Gary
right?
Price
Like,
will be gone.
Yeah, like you have that extra LITR
Well,
that's going to be on.
Yeah, that's
So-
an LTR. Yeah.
Like, you have a lot of salary that's going to be off the books here too, right? So I'm not like Demidov and Hudson. That's like 2 to 3 years away still, right?
I don't think any of us are disagreeing on the value of an Evans. I think where we're sort of drawing the line is the monetary amount and the longevity of the contract, right? So if I were to ask, what's
You're
your
putting a hard
limit,
cap at 3 million. You're putting a hard cap at 3 million. I just don't think that's realistic. I think
Okay, so
you have to be
what's
open to
your-
going to 3.
So what would be your
We have to
ideal
move on, guys,
contract?
because we're going to talk about Jake Evans for the rest of the night. So we're going to fix the problem right there. I have a breaking news, by the way, if you want to hear something, guys. A breaking news. This happening in the senior league in Saskatchewan. The dad and the fist fight between both of them. A 47 years old and 27 years old fight with a big fight. It's not like only a shake hand right there. The dad and the son.
crazy.
I suggest you to watching this. Chris Evans versus Tyler Traeger, 27 years old. Father and son
That was
duo
so good.
sit scrap on the
That
senior
was so funny.
one. So
That was a great clip.
Only
we
in
will
Saskatchewan.
go at the December 31st. Start with Marko.
I hope so. Like, I think it would just be a lot better for everybody. Just like, again, to me, if you're based on kind of what Hughes just did with getting Alexandre Carrier to come in, to me, it would be, again, like what we talked about with not signing Evans. It's kind of like one step forward, one step back. If you're going to get Alexandre Carrier to be a little bit more competitive, why are you not going out and trading you're not going to have to trade a huge asset here. Like if you could trade a third round pick to go get like a backup goalie for the rest of this year or maybe next year, to me it's a no brainer. You have to do that. You have to give your team a chance to win. And I think we've seen enough from Primo. So for me, absolutely, they need to do it. It would be in line with kind of what they've been doing the last couple of weeks.
Go with Enortap.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, you can't continue this situation right now. I think you're taxing out Montebo. It doesn't happen too often that a goalie plays back to back, and I don't know how many games he's played consecutively now. He's also going to be playing for Team Canada. He might not be first or second goaltender there, but he'll probably draw one game. But still, it's too much, and I think something is in the works from a lot of things that I'm reading. So I would say absolutely he's gone.
Son,
I'm going to say
Devin.
not at all. I'll say not at all for two reasons. One, there's no plan in place to replace him, and two, I don't see anybody in the league that they would you talk about making a trade for somebody who can, I don't see anybody in the league that would be that guy. Like who are they making a move for that they're going to bring in that would be any better? I don't see that.
Detroit has
I think a lot of the teams.
Detroit has like 4 goalies, man. Husso,
Who?
name them, like Husso.
So are you 100% convinced that if Ville Husso comes in, that he's going to provide a better option?
100%.
I mean,
Yes,
if you get a 1-for-1 trade, Caden for Husso, absolutely do it. I'm with you.
Why? Just trade a
But
fourth round pick.
What are you willing to give
Fourth
up to
round
bring
pick.
in a
Throw
Ville
a
Husso?
pick. Throw a pick
Throw
in
in a
there
pick.
if you have
There's
to.
so many picks, dude.
Okay.
Just throw a pick. Go get a
I just
backup.
to me,
He's on an
there's
expiring
no
contract.
guarantee that Ville Husso is any better.
It's a pretty good chance it's a really good chance it's going to be better than Primo. Even if he gives you
Okay.
8,
You know
9,
where Primo's ranked right now out of
Oh no, I get it. I get it.
64 goalies?
But do you know who Ville Husso's playing behind right now? Did you watch the guy who played for Detroit last night? How good was he? And Ville Husso is
Lyon?
2 or 3 rungs down the line behind that guy.
Alex Lyon is a good goalie, man. Like Alex Lyon got the Florida Panthers.
He wasn't that good last night.
No, he wasn't good last night. But a lot of NHL goalies have off nights. But Alex Lyon is an
I get
NHL
that.
goalie.
But what I'm saying is Ville Husso is three steps down the Detroit depth chart.
He needs a clean.
The two
slate. He
goalies
needs a
that we
clean-
watched play. The 2 goalies that we watched play in the last 2 nights.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of both guys we saw play for Detroit. Like I would have Husso over the I like Alex Lyon a lot, to be honest, but I have no problems. I think Husso would be the perfect guy. He's a UFA.
Montreal have enough money for him.
You have to
get Detroit to eat some of it for sure.
Yeah, and again, I'm not.
He has a
don't
contract
get
of
me
$4
wrong,
million,
I'm not,
right?
Yeah.
I'm not
So
defending
Detroit would have
Primo's
to
game
have
at
to-
all here. I'm not suggesting that Primo is, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if they're going to make that move, then the question is whether he's going to be here or not. It's not whether we want him here or not. It's whether he's going to be gone or not. And to me, if he's going to go, it's going to be because Kent Hughes and Jeff Gorton are convinced that they're bringing in a guy who can replace him, who is not definitely going to be better, but they're very, very convinced is going to be better. And that to me is why, and we're only talking about, a little over a week away. That's a lot of work to get done between now and then. And so, bringing up Dobesh and bringing up Hughes they're not options.
Not
Right?
an
Those are
option.
not, those
No.
are
No,
not
no, that's
options.
no.
It's got to come from outside.
so-
It's for sure got to
Right.
come from outside. Yeah.
I don't expect him to return to play one more game with the Montreal Canadiens. I'm sorry to tell you that, but
Let's hope so.
I don't
And
expect
to be clear, when I say I hope so, I mostly mean it for him because I think he needs a change. Like he needs a free, just a clean slate to
Right.
start somewhere else.
He's
He's a
lost
great
total
kid.
confidence.
Yeah, he's a
The
great
Montreal
kid. He just
Canadiens have not been good for Caden Primo. Like the
not
Montreal
at all.
Canadiens organization, or like they ruined him. Like Marc Bergevin talked him into leaving Northeastern when he was not ready to come, with a promise that he would play 1 year in the American League and then he would be the backup in the NHL. And obviously I guess he could have said no, but he took the opportunity. He played well in Laval, and he struggled ever since. The Canadiens have rushed him to the NHL, and if we want to look at everyone wants to jump on him for not being good this year, but if we want to blame anybody for him not being a good goaltender at 26 years old, a lot of the blame has to fall on the Montreal Canadiens organization, because they have failed miserably in the development of Caden Primo. They have failed him as a hockey player. They did not do him any favors. And the reason he is struggling the way he is right now, obviously, he has to shoulder some of that blame. But the Montreal Canadiens, owe that kid an apology if if that were something that were ever going to happen. They've not done fairly by that young man.
Senator and the playoff Enortap.
Well, they're definitely, with these 6 games, have put themselves in a good position. Again, you have to ask yourself who's coming out and if they're going in. And I think that those spots, that spot could be available. So I'm going to say yes. I think
Absolutely.
they can.
Marko, absolutely not at all.
Oh, can I answer after I know if Allmark is going to be hurt for a long time? But
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say, I'm going to say absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to say absolutely. But they're going to need, hopefully Forsberg or Allmark, because both of them are injured now. So they need to have that goaltending. But right now I would say absolutely.
Devin.
I'm going to say absolutely as well. To me, the issue with the Senators has always been, outside of their roster. I think it's had to do with their management and their coaching and their ownership. I'm still not convinced that, their coaching is all that good, or even their management for that matter. But the players are good. The players are good on the ice. I thought, once they get some chemistry and once they start figuring it out, I think that, they've certainly got a lineup to compete, and they look like they're doing that right now. And there's, and the teams that they need to surpass are faltering a little bit. So I'm going to say absolutely that the Ottawa Senators will be in the playoffs.
Hey, I'll go to not at all. Just remember you this in April. Next one, we're going to go Marko. Montreal Canadiens hit the 80 point.
Absolutely. I think I predicted 85 points.
Okay.
So I think they're on track.
Devin.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think as I've said before, they're on track. They're in the right direction. They're playing their best hockey. I think that the rest of the season will be better than what we've seen so far, and I think 80 points is very easily in their wheelhouse, in their targets.
And after that.
Yeah, I think at the beginning of the year I went with 82. Yeah, the only thing that has me worried is if you look at that month of January and the beginning of February, it is rough. And then if they start to trade away a few players, it's not so cut and clear that they'll get there. But I'm going to stick to absolutely.
Edmonton scored 3-1. All three said absolutely. We said not at all again. We were really close. But you're all excited about the 3 game. You'll be excited tomorrow, Columbus play. But after that, it's going to be hard. Montreal have most of the game on the road. Montreal did not play against Carolina, Tampa Bay, Little Panthers. Colorado, I believe. He played one game against Vegas. Dallas Star. You're getting there. I think at some point Montreal is going to be. Montebo cannot carry on all the way. All the way. Now you impressed with Jake Evan, Emin, and Emin. They're not going to carry on that team all the way. The bottom six score all the most of the goal right now, and that's a couple of red flag. Whatsoever, we're excited. I'm fine. I'm happy about that. But some point we just beat guys. Two bad team. Like
Okay, well, like I said from the top, Detroit had just beat Toronto. They just beat other teams too. So
Marko, they
listen,
are
they
seven in the Atlantic zone.
yeah. Listen, they have, like we talked about. You
Do
both
you really
Devin and I
believe
mentioned-
Detroit you see this weekend? They look like a
We
team
beat
to make the
Edmonton.
playoff.
Montreal beat Edmonton. Montreal beat Toronto.
Don't forget about Detroit
They're-
guys. Like
Where,
they were missing.
where are
Edmonton.
they? Devin, Montreal is
You
26
can't
and
you
in
can't
descending.
you can't beat teams. You can't beat teams that aren't on your schedule. You can only beat the teams that are on your schedule.
I understand
And don't
that.
forget, Detroit
understand
did
that.
have like players missing. Like part of their decor is missing. Last night, Evanson wasn't there. That's like part of their top four as well too, right? So, listen, I
Marco,
how many
you really
points?
believe Detroit can win with Lyon and Talbot between the pipe?
I think Lyon like is a capable 1B for sure. Like I just like I
The
think
Las Vegas
he's
Golden Knights won the Stanley Cup with Aiden Hill in nets.
yeah. I like Alex
Colorado
Lyon as a-
Avalanche won the Stanley Cup with what's his face in nets.
Be
Drawing
interesting
a
what
blank on his
happening
name.
with that at the end of the day. But I think with the trade deadline, Montreal going to take a couple of decisions and possibly move. But I think they will be interesting, Marco and Devin and Enortap, because we talk about maybe Evans, Savard, whatever they were rack. But at the end of the day, Montreal maybe just gave away those players to get something cheaper. They don't want to destroy the Laval Rocket. I think there will be another factor on that trade deadline, what could change the trade deadline at some point. So you know what? To get Amir for a 4-round pick, a 3rd-round pick, keep him around, and then at the end of the year, let him go. But we protect really the Laval Rocket. I think it will be my opinion about this one.
why is Montreal eager to change players? And we just finished saying that Montreal's bottom six is top 10 in the NHL. Why is Montreal in a hurry to change their bottom six? We need to add to our second line. I wouldn't be upset if Montreal came back with the exact same bottom six as next year, including Dvorak.
Yeah, I think what you have to look at is their contracts, right? Like you look at
Dvorak
Gallagher, you look at Armia, Dvorak.
they're already
They're
signed.
not
Those deals
cheap.
are already signed. They're already signed.
If the
though.
Montreal
Like, it's-
Canadiens, if the Canadiens bottom six is playing the way they're playing right now, if Kirby Dach is playing the way he played before he got injured, like the preseason and the first game in the period last year, and
Then we're in
Patrick
the mix.
Laine doesn't get. I mean, I know if my mom had wheels, she'd be a wagon, but I get that. But if Laine hadn't gotten hurt in the preseason and Dach was playing the way he played before he got hurt last year, and our bottom six is playing the way they're playing right now, this is a playoff team. Now, I don't get me wrong. I'm not being a crazy Canadiens fan.
No, we're in the
I get
mix.
that those things didn't happen. Yeah, I get that those things didn't happen, and I get that. But again, like the bottom six is like they're playing. The issue right now, frankly, is the second line. And if you even want to narrow it down even more, it's Kirby Dach. And again, I'm you know how I feel about Kirby Dach. We've talked about it before. I think he's a good player, and he eventually will be a good player again. I can concede that he's not a good player right now. And if he was playing up to his abilities right now, having Dach and Laine playing the way they're playing right now, even with Newhook struggling, and the way the bottom six is playing, and how good the top line is playing, this is a very good team right now.
Awesome, but we have a couple of things we can talk more about, but we carry on this over 30-minute extra. But I think it was worth it to do a clash, everything, and then I'm going to move on, guys. What we try to do tonight is to invite the people to talking with us and to have a good time. During that process, Marko and Enortap and Devin, I'm going to talk to you about the wish list for the Montreal Canadiens for Christmas. So when I said that for Christmas, guys, it's not about we're going to do another one for the 2025. So try to get there. What you would like Montreal get for Christmas for the Santa Claus, and I bet it would be honestly the big Santa Claus for the night show. So how this work, guys, is easy. We have two spots in the middle, right? And I'm going to put this right there. We have two spots right there. And I'm going to invite everybody. Now, Coach, how I can talk to you? You're absolutely right about that. If you don't get the link, after we're not going to get any call. And you can ask a question, first of all, about the Montreal Canadiens. You can ask question to specific person. Thirdly, we'll ask you your wish list for the Montreal Canadiens. This is the reason of the call tonight. We're going to carry on that. If we have more people in the chat, guys, I'm going to modify the graphic. We can go all the way to the 10 people. This is the rest of the show to have a good time together. Have something in the chat. I'm going to respond to you. But we open up the line for all of you. And I will start with you, Mr. Marko, because you maybe have a phone call at some point in the next 30 minutes to get out to put your chameau on the street. But Marko, your first wish list for the Montreal Canadiens. You have only wish list, and you have Jenny in the house, and Jenny get out of the bottle, and she said to you, Jenny, what are you looking for, Marko?
About the Montreal Canadiens, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just to be clear, I think you asked me this on the last show. For me, it would be to have Montreal's floor become better. So we've seen that Montreal's ceiling is very good. So what I'd really like to see is Montreal's floor, meaning like their B game when they don't play as well, to be a little bit better so that they can play a little bit more consistently. We've heard saying we talk about this quite a bit. So I'd like Montreal to not collapse so frequently, right? Like those 9-2 games and everything else. So it's going to happen. Montreal's going to have bad games. But what I'd really like for them is to continue to learn how to live and how to play in those tougher games so that they can be more consistent. That would be my wish list, to continue to learn how to win and to see their floor get higher so that they're more competitive.
Awesome. And the bag of Santa Claus have to be big for you, Marko, when you're going to bring that for the Montreal Canadiens. Before we move on, we're going to welcome Kevin and Harry. They are impatient to talk to us, so we're going to open the line. And also, we have a lot of people in the chat. Guys, we put the link over there. You can join us live and talking to us. Again, this is only a fun night for everybody, and we appreciate a lot to be back. Listen, first of all, Nick, Mr. Enortap is in the house. Nick, welcome in the house, first of all. Secondly, hopefully you're doing well, you and your family. And thirdly, we wish you happy holidays and Merry Christmas. And Nick, if you want to come live, talk to us. You're welcome to join us tonight at the Christmas time. Hey, Kevin, how you doing, my friend? How you doing?
Very good, very good.
Good. Where's your buddy, Harry?
Harry.
Oh, Harry's hiding behind. Harry, are you ready for Christmas, Harry?
Thank you.
Yeah, you ready for Christmas, Harry?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. Merry Christmas, both of you, Harry and Kevin. Are you going to watch the game tomorrow night against the Columbus Blue Jacket?
Well, yes, Macho va payer Thomas avec Columbus, il va payer Thomas.
Okay, who do you think is going to win, Mr. Harry? Montreal or Columbus?
Montreal.
Awesome to hear that. Anyway, guys, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy holidays for both of you. Be ready to come back next time. We wish you an amazing, great night. And thanks for stopping by, Harry. Do you have any question, Harry?
Oui,
Harry, t'avais-tu une question? T'avais-tu une question pour nous, Harry?
Oh, move it a little bit more. If certification, no, another side, another way, Harry. No, on your left side. Left side.
C'est ton diplôme?
Yeah.
If I can move the camera, and after we'll do it, but I cannot move the camera.
C'est quoi ton diplôme, ça, Harry? Harry, c'est ton diplôme?
Oui.
Ah, mais félicitations, Harry.
Diplôme.
Félicitations.
Félicitations, mon Harry. Écoute, on va te laisser aller, toi et Kevin. Merci d'avoir nous arrêté ce soir. Puis on va se reparler la prochaine fois. Harry et Kevin.
Ouais.
Salut les gars.
Oui.
Ah oui.
Bye-bye.
Okay,
Merry
bye.
Christmas.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
holidays.
Bye-bye.
There we
Merry
go. There
Noël.
was notre
Thank you.
ami
Thank you.
Gary.
Have a
Harry.
good day.
Good night, Kevin.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Here we go. They are back. There we go. Our friend, they're waiting for that. There you go. That's what we do here at the Hockey National Show. We welcome everybody. We wait for a couple of people, guys, to be a part of the show. You can join us live if you want to. Enortap, your wish list for the Montreal Canadiens.
Worst. Oh, please, please, please give me a more effective second line. And it doesn't necessarily have to be all in terms of points, but just, in terms of, their physical presence, their ability to control the puck a little bit more and bring the play to the opposition. It's really, like we said earlier, the third and fourth line are doing very well. First line we can't complain about. So it's a big gap to have there. You almost wish it was the third or fourth line. So please, Santa, give us a second line.
Here we go. Devin.
Yeah. I mean, mine's kind of similar to Enortap's. I'm a simple guy. I don't need, like, as you get older, you find yourself not really worrying about, needing big fancy gifts. For me, it's a very simple thing that I want. I want a happy, healthy, rejuvenated Kirby Dach. I want Kirby Dach from Game 1 last year. That's all I want. I alluded to it earlier. To me, if they have that, if Kirby Dach is playing and is where he was at Game 1 last year, I think this team is right in the mix, if we can use that term. So that's as simple as I can get. I'm not going to get deep about it. I just want a happy, healthy, rejuvenated Kirby Dach from Game 1, 2023.
It'd be nice.
Bob Smith is watching Carolina Hurricane again in your Rangers right now. He said 2-1. It's a replay game, Bob.
That's not the
PNW just won. It's a good one. Welcome, Mr. Ron. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
How you
from
doing?
Utah.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
you
Ron,
too.
how are you? How's it
I'm
going,
good,
buddy?
Ron.
It's good to be on.
Haven't seen you
Did
since
I-
the fantasy draft.
I know, right? It's been quite a while since I've
Yeah.
been on with you.
Whoa.
Did I finally beat you today in the
You
fantasy?
beat me that night that I took that 5-minute lead. I
It was
thought I
a
Dan
totaled
total
it
Sam
okay.
is in the house, ladies and gentlemen, for Winnipeg.
Hey. Oui, monsieur.
Mr. Asham.
Nice to
Yeah.
see you,
How's it
Dan.
going, gentlemen?
How are you doing,
I
Sam?
gotta thank Marko for giving me Gunther though.
Listen, let's get this party started, man.
Awesome. How's your
Good to see you,
Winnipeg
Dan.
Jet, Dan?
Pardon me? I can't hear you. Give me a sec here. You cut my volume.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I heard you
You're muted
barely. I
now.
don't know if anybody can hear him better than me.
Barely hear him,
I can't hear.
Sounds like you're underwater a little bit, but
right?
are you excited about your Winnipeg Jets, Dan? Whoa.
Oh, yeah. They're so good. You know what? If it wasn't for Hellbuck, I don't think he'd make a playoff this year. He's playing unreal.
Yeah, Enortap is a very, very deep believer in the Winnipeg Jets, but I'm with you, man. Like, I'm not sure how good that team is without Hellebuck. Like, that decor makes me a little bit nervous still, but I guess we'll see, right?
I would almost go
What do
the
you think?
opposite way.
Think they'll make the
Yeah, they
second
definitely-
round cup? What do you think? Second round? Or how far do you think they'll go this year?
Well, the key will be
I don't know.
Hellebuck, right? He has to prove it in the playoffs. That's the key.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They're definitely playing different from when they were at the beginning of the season, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
like
Just turn it around somehow. I don't know what's going on with them, but they look like, I don't know, a great team this year. What do you think? Like, really?
they're a great regular season team, right? That seems to be the challenge with them. Like, but ultimately, again, I still like if you look at their decor, the depth on it,
Yeah.
makes me a little bit worried.
Yeah.
But like, they're a team that you think would be built for playoffs because they're big, so we'll get to see. How about you, Run? Like, how are you? Like, we haven't talked to you really. Like, we know that you're a Utah guy, right? So, how are you finding like now that Utah has their own team? Like, are you following them pretty
He's
closely? Are you staying up to watch those games? What's going on?
he's an LA
Yeah,
King.
like I'm a King, but Utah
Yeah.
having Utah was awesome. Like I was glad that they got a team. I definitely think that having 12,000+ fans definitely has helped the team play a lot better. Like I said, I think Gunther, I think Keller are playing amazing. I think Joe Melka, since he's kind of taken over, he is playing out of his mind. Like they definitely should be glad that they have them. It'd be nice. Be nice if Ingram could fix those mistakes. I think he's let in a lot of stupid goals.
Yeah. What
But yeah,
about
I
LA?
think
Like, has LA surprised you this year? Like, they moved off Pierre-Luc Dubois this summer, like after that was obviously not a huge success, and Rob Blake was under a lot of fire, right? Like, that's a lot of assets that they spent for Pierre-Luc Dubois, but looks like they've rebounded pretty well. Like, why don't you give us a read of what you've been seeing from the Los Angeles Kings?
so. Yeah, they have. I thought they would give PLD a second year, just to see, but I was glad they kind of got rid of him. Who they traded him for, I was not happy. I love Velarde. I was a huge Velarde fan, and I was kind of upset that they got rid of him. But
Yeah.
Laferriere, what Laferriere is doing, I actually have watched Laferriere since he was in college, and I was excited for him to come in. And what he's doing, I think a lot of people didn't expect. I think I told Coach at the beginning of the season that Laferriere is going to be a bigger star than Byfield on LA, and
Wow.
I still believe that. Yeah, I think he'll
What
take
do
over
you
that.
And Brent Clark has
what
looked
do you
very
think
good
of
too
the
this year.
What do you think of so one of the storylines going into the Kings season was that they were going to start move systematically away from their they've been a very defensive team over the last number of years, and that they're kind of going to move away from that system. How is that working out for them?
I think it's really good. So I actually got to see them move from the 1-3-1 to the 2-2-1, and I thought that they play that very well. They put picking up like Edmondson. He's definitely, I like his defensive game. He's definitely, they put him more physical. I like seeing Brant Clark where he's at. He's doing a lot better than I thought he would actually. Like I expected him to be good, but he's playing a lot better than I thought he would. I think he's taken too many penalties, but that's kind of just been LA's thing. I think they were averaging 4 or 5 penalties a game.
Wow.
And is
But
Doughty almost ready to come
Run.
back?
so Doughty is expected sometime in January. So what they're trying to figure out now is it's kind of who do you put with Gavrikov? Because Brant Clark has played fabulous with them, Jordan Spence. And there's somebody else, but I think putting Spence and Gavrikov together is the best choice.
Jordan Spence is a really cool story. If you just quickly, Jordan Spence is an undersized defenseman who's originally from he's Asian background. He's born in Australia. He didn't get drafted into the Quebec League. Played a year of Junior A in Prince Edward Island, and then went to the Q, got drafted, and now he's a very serviceable defenseman. Like, talk about a guy who took a really weird route to the NHL. It's really nice to see him doing well.
What about
Run.
Turcotte's been a nice story for LA too, right? Like, I think he was kind of on that watch list of like guys that you maybe that whole 2019 top 10, right? Like, is you look back at that draft, but nice little bounce back for Turcotte this series, right? Right now they have him on the top line, right? With Kopitar.
Yeah, him coming in, I was kind of worried because last season I think they brought him up for a few games and he just kind of didn't do anything. But since he's coming this season, he's kind of showed that like he belongs. And that's kind of his attitude as well. His attitude is I belong here, so I'm going to do what I need to do to show that I belong on the team, that I belong on the roster. And seeing him with Kopitar and Kempe, and it's weird because I think this is the 11th, 12th player that Kopitar has played on his left side. Like they have put everybody up on.
Crazy.
But since Turcotte has been up there, he's shown that he definitely belongs, and it's nice having him. It's nice seeing that he's able to contribute, stay healthy. Because I thought he was going to be another Velarde who just kept getting hurt. So can't complain.
Who just joined us here? Who just joined us?
I don't know.
Upstairs is Matthew, and downstairs is Butch. Butch Bouchard
Hey,
from
hey,
Vermont.
Butch.
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Hey, guys.
Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
And
How's it going,
Happy
guys?
New Year.
Noel.
Ron, I actually had a question for you as well. I know you've had the opportunity to go to a couple of the Utah games. Can you sort of give us an idea? What have they done to sort of market the team? And is it something that the city's really attaching themselves to?
To be honest, I feel like it's really just Utah having a hockey team. I don't think a lot of people understand that Utah is full of hockey fans of every team. So when I went to like the Kings game, like there were a lot of Kings fans there, more than I thought. I've been to like the San Jose. There's a lot of San Jose fans. We actually have a lot of Montreal fans up here. We have a lot of Edmonton Oilers fans. Utah. It's just the owner. I think he kind of saw that Utah was a very good place. I think having cheap food, beer, and all that definitely helps.
Do they
everywhere
sell
just
beer?
seems that.
Do they actually sell beer though in the stadium?
Yeah, they sell it at the Jazz games. Yeah,
They're not all
I didn't know
Mormons,
that I didn't think
Marko.
they were allowed to do that.
there's. I think. Right. Our sporting events they allow. I want to say maybe our. I don't think where the Grizzly play. I don't think they're allowed to sell beer there. I could be wrong. It's been a very long time since I've been to one of their games. But it's just I think mixing with what they've done is if you buy like Utah like their hockey tickets, they do something with the Jazz tickets as well, and I think it's vice versa. If you buy Jazz tickets, I think they give a discount on like the hockey tickets as well, especially if you're a season holder ticket or a season ticket holder. And then it's just the commercials they put on. I think they have the team going out and doing a lot in the community as well. So they're getting used to where Utah, what it is, the people here, what they do. So they're doing a good job at like promoting themselves and bringing fans in. And it seems like they keep selling out. Like it always seems full when you go. So it'll be nicer when they put in those, I think, 2,000-3,000 extra seats in the stadium, especially since you can't see the goalie.
Yeah.
You're like blind.
Here we go, guys.
Yeah,
We welcome, if you don't mind, we welcome Matthew. Matthew, welcome in the house. First of all, where are you coming from, Matthew?
Drayton Valley, Alberta.
Wow.
Nice. Welcome, Matthew.
Awesome.
Oilers.
Oilers fan?
How's the weather?
Good. We had a Chinook come through. We had a 23-degree swing from -18 to +5.
Wow.
Yeah, I've heard that expression before. If you don't like the weather in Alberta, just wait 5 minutes.
Oh yeah,
My
you're
stepfather.
and if you want your weather to change, wait 5 minutes.
My
We had
stepfather's
freezing
from
rain
Alberta. I
3
remember.
times last week, and then snow, and then more rain, and then we had the Chinook come through, and it's just been crazy.
Where in
Yeah, my
Alberta?
What's that? Sorry,
Where in Alberta?
Drayton Valley, hour east of Edmonton, or west of Edmonton.
Nice.
Sorry.
How you become
My
a fan of
stepfather's
Montreal
from
Canadiens?
Alberta.
My dad and my parents are huge Habs fans. My mom, ironically, is from Cobourg, Ontario, or east of Toronto. And my dad grew up as a Habs fan here because of his grandpa listening to the radio. And so my brother and I are Habs fans. Our sister was dropped on her head and that's Detroit and Calgary. But it happened. Yeah, no, I'm getting lucky. Actually, I'm going to the Montreal Edmonton game here on, I believe it's March 8th, if I remember.
That was fun.
Went last year too. Or the year before, sorry, it was not a good game.
So Matthew,
then,
2
I've
questions
been
for
pretty
you, man.
lucky. One of my favorite games I've been to so far is I went to the Winter Classic in Calgary against Montreal.
The Jose Theodore 2.
Tell you though, minus 28
Jose
watching a hockey game outside is a little hard sometimes.
That's the one where Jose Theodore was famous for that too, right?
No, that's the Edmonton one. Pricer was in this one. This is the one where Jonta was still our captain, and we still had what year was that? Would have been 2010, 2011.
Right.
I think so.
I bought 3 jerseys when I was there.
Well, Matthew, I have 2 questions for you, man. So first, just give us your take on Montreal season so far, and second question is what's your favorite Habs Edmonton game in history that you've seen, or your favorite Habs versus Edmonton memory that you have?
So I guess the first one there is as the coach has seen, I've been a very big proprietor of giving the boys time. So we all know it's been a rebuild season. I feel a lot of people are way too hard on poor Kirby Dach. Poor kid had a blown out ACL, MCL. Do I expect more from him? Yes. Do I wish the old Martin St. Louis would pull out his Michel Therrien once in a while and rip some of that kid's head off? Yeah. But at the same time, let our boys progress the way they are. But I feel like the biggest issue we're facing now is as much as I didn't at first like the Carrier deal just because we gave up on Barron so young, but with Barron's inconsistencies, we needed to fix that hole. But Carrier has seemed to really balance out our blue line. I feel like he's brought a lot of ease, and you even see it in the guys. A lot of the stress is slowly dissipating. If you guys have noticed that, right? He's brought that calmness to the blue line that we've been lacking. And now, what I'm really hoping is we find it, as probably we all did when Primo ended the season last year. I thought that was a turning corner for him, but we all know we need to find a backup fast. And I was actually talking to my brother last night because he follows all these obscure Montreal sites. And I don't know if any of you guys heard about it, but apparently, Hughes is over in Russia right now. They talked to our old draft pick, Zachary.
Yeah, Zachary.
So I don't think that would be the worst idea. Can't do any better than what we're going on right now. And
the thing is,
as much as no one wants to hear it, they need to. I don't necessarily say waive Primo because I don't know. Do you guys think anyone's going to pick him up? And let's be honest, if Philly did grab him like they were worried about last year, go ahead. As bad as it is. And then my favorite Oiler game, unfortunately, was in 2009. We lost, I believe it was 4-1, but it was the year before my dad passed away. It was a Christmas present from my brother to my dad and I, and we went and saw our first Habs game together.
Wow, that's amazing.
So unfortunately, he passed away the following year, in July 4th of 2010. But it was
that's a solid memory to have.
Feeling, right? I've been to a lot of Oiler games, just because I live here and I work in the oil field industry, so it's kind of a perk I get in some of the jobs I've had where you get thrown some tickets. But it's back in the day, it was going to see Florida when they really sucked, or San Jose when they were really bad, or I got to see Columbus twice the first year they were in the league, and I was like, oh, cool, but got to see Nash play, but oh well. And yeah, that'd be about it, man. I'm one of those guys. Like if I get to see them play live, it instantly becomes a success for me just because of where I am. But it's been that's definitely my favorite game, even though it's a loss. And then my second favorite game would have been not last year, but the year before. I took my youngest son to the Habs game and dressed him up in all my Habs gear and made him sit there with me and cheer. I think we lost that one too, 3-1 or something like that. But either way, it was still good times. I enjoyed those games. That's how we do.
So Matthew, $1 million
Before we
this
move
year,
on, guys, we welcome Maurice
raise the
Robillard
bar
from Thailand.
a little
He's
more
in the
towards
house
the end of the
tonight.
season.
Welcome from Thailand. Merry
Hello,
Christmas.
Maurice.
This winning streak is really intriguing for us. What is it? Is this our first 3-game win streak in like 2-3 years, isn't it, guys?
I
Yes,
can't
it is.
remember if there was one last year, but it's
Yeah.
definitely the first one this year. Definitely the first one this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody's
Well,
welcome to
tomorrow
the
night,
tickets for
honestly,
Abdel.
we're playing Columbus again, and I really think that's a game where, as we're probably all, I really want to see Patrick Line come out and just, he's on so much fire right now. I kept him. He's actually in my draft, 9A, and it's just one of those things where I think he could. He's another guy like Carrier. He just seems to bring a new sense of mentality to that group of team, right? And if you guys have all seen it, Cole Caulfield
Well,
really turned the corner with him.
he reminds me of Ovechkin. Well, he reminds me of
He was the guy who was
Ovechkin.
looking to feed on that left side. And now it's him, but you see Cole purposely is looking for line A. But now that I think he's shooting more, like we saw it last game, Line A started. The nice thing about Line A with his hockey intelligence is he's already realized the guys are focusing on. Well, that's how Slap got his goal, right? He's giving that Slap pass to the net and he's got the redirection, right? Like I think actually, I guess Slap didn't get that goal, did he? It was actually played by the Detroit defenseman, but still, like he's really hyper focused on not just shooting now. Like obviously, he's going to shoot 98% of the time because that's what Line A does. But like, I've noticed him really open up his view now that he's being focused on, and I'm hoping in the new year that spells more goals for Caulfield. Like I think he can really up his game even more with him being there. And Suzuki, I think so many people have underestimated Suzuki this year, even Team Canada. I thought, no offense, I kind of agree with Craig Button. I'd rather have Nick Suzuki over Seth Jarvis. Nick Suzuki can literally be one of those guys that plays anywhere in your line for Team Canada.
Yeah,
I agree.
And as much as we don't like talking about the Bruins, I think he is the most Bergeron-like player in the league right now. With all the guys that are in there, he has such a great two-way, 200-foot defensive game outside for a guy that's still averaging a point a game right now. Like
awesome, guy. We're going to try to move on to welcome everybody. Matthew, if you don't mind, to stop a little bit.
What do you think?
Maurice Robillard, directly from Thailand, is at the bottom between Mac Elliott, the super chat. Can we do a super chat with 10 people celebrating the super chat? I can wait to see something from Maurice right now. Here we go.
Woo!
Super chat, Mac Elliott.
Let's go, other hand.
Hi.
He did it, Mac Elliott, $50, guys. That was the best super chat never thought. All together, guys, crazy to say that about that. But below Matthew is Maurice from Thailand, and beside between Ron and Enortap is Bud Bouchard for Vermont. And someone is on the black is Sebastien right now with Kendall, so I don't know what's going on with him, but
I thought it was Darth Vader.
We're going to go to Maurice. Welcome. Thanks to
Marko,
be
what do you think about Matheson's play
and
now?
then we're going to move on with Bush after that. Maurice, comment ça va?
Ça va très bien, coach. Merci de nous avoir. T'as une très bonne idée de faire un super chat comme ça. Moi, mes souhaits pour Noël pour l'équipe, my Christmas wish list is pretty similar to everybody else's. Doc's play has been atrocious, actually. So he's a big letdown. Montreal has given him enough time, ice time, to prove himself, and he hasn't. I'm just, he's out. He's out of time now. We have to make a decision. Their players, like New Hook, I mentioned, is playing better than Doc right now. And Armia is a gift this year. He's played really well. So that's my wish list. I'm always, it's hard sometimes, and same for you. We wake up early, especially afternoon games. I'm up early because a 12-hour time difference here in Thailand. So you got to be really dedicated if you're a Habs diehard fan. So
You got it.
let's hope it works out.
That's
Awesome,
awesome, man.
Maurice. Avant que I meet Maurice in Thailand a couple of months ago, I think a couple of months ago, and Maurice, we want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you and your beautiful girlfriend also. And for you, Maurice, comment ça se passe? Je crois que tu as déménagé en passant.
Yeah, we moved to a house. So we moved out of a condo, which was great. I mean, I really enjoyed it. It was a thing to do for me, fresh off from Canada, coming in and, scouted it out. And at one point, I just wanted more privacy. We were on the ground floor beside the pool, and kids will be kids. They'll be noisy. So it was time to get out. I really enjoyed it. We got ourselves a little one-bedroom house here, and it's a nice soy. It's quiet, good neighbors. So we're having a good time. Lots of things to buy, Coach. Even though Thailand is cheaper than Canada for sure, but I mean, our rent and our total cost of living here is like $260 a month for electricity, water, and rent for a
That's
house.
insane,
Vous êtes
bro.
en
So
quelle
you can't
ville,
beat
Maurice, à Thaïlande? Vous êtes à quelle ville, en
Suratani.
Thaïlande?
That
C'est
cost
dans
me
la
more.
province de
Enortap, it cost me more
c'est dans
on
la
cheese per month and his rent per month.
probably I'm married, Coach, so uh, I don't think my wife would allow me too much cheese. But again,
It's on sale.
we're having. Yeah, well, it might be on sale. When we met, Coach, I was there to I think it was to renew my visa, so it
Yeah,
would have been in September.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm from the province of Surat Thani, and I live in the city of Surat Thani.
Wow,
So
that's
it's south. It's
awesome.
south of Coach is in
Great, Maurice.
Pattaya, so I'm
Maurice,
about.
Maurice, on va ouvrir la porte à Butch si tu veux pas. T'as manqué.
Oui.
Butch, welcome in the house. Drop your camera if you don't mind. If it's okay with you, Butch, can you hear me? Hold on, Butch, because I put you on the on the mute about that one over there. Bush is right here. I apologize for that one. Bush, can you hear us? Bush Bouchard. You're supposed to be live right there, Butch. Can you hear me? You have something. Larry is in the house. I tried to get Larry too.
Hey, Butch.
Bush is disappeared right now. So let's see Bush.
Coach, as you're bringing people up, I have to leave. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Le chameau doit manger.
Yeah.
All right, Marko.
Happy
holidays, Marko. Merry Christmas, Marko. Thanks
Happy
for
holidays,
everything.
Marko.
I will see you during the
Thank you very
week
much,
anyway for the World Junior Championship. So have a great night, Marko.
Merry Christmas, guys. Thanks.
Merry Christmas,
Cheers.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Marko. Merry Christmas.
Matthew is
Larry.
back. We have Larry Lavalley, guys, in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, over Dan. Welcome back, Larry Lavalley. Can you hear us, Larry?
Yes, I can.
Larry, I think we heard you.
Good.
Talk to us, Larry. What's happening in Arizona right now?
No, I enjoy being here, Coach.
Larry,
Yes,
first of
thank you
all,
very much.
right away, Larry, we said to you, we are grateful and thankful for everything you do for the channel, personally for myself, but a lot of people around, they appreciate you to be in the chat. You're one of the most important person in the chat, and we want to say to you, thanks so much for your contribution night after night. Very kind of you, but also it's more about your friendship you bring on the table, and we really, really appreciate for what you do here. So I want to say that to you first. Secondly, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. And now, tell us what's going on in Arizona. Larry, what is you coming from your Christmas time?
Well, thank you very much, Coach, and I appreciate you being on this channel. That gives me so much pleasure. I wanna thank you, and well, I can hear lots of different things going on here. At
Yeah, we got a bit
any
of echo.
rate, Merry Christmas, and thank you very much.
You're welcome, Larry. Thanks again. We appreciate a lot. Just a question for you. What happening to you and your family for Christmas in Arizona?
Well, my Christmas is back in New York.
Oh, okay. East Cave, East.
All my family is there, but my wife and I sit here for 6 months a year and enjoy this wonderful weather that we have here in Arizona.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure about that. If we ask you a wish list for you, Mr. Larry, what it will be?
I want to see the Habs win a Stanley Cup before I die.
Ah, you're going to be alive for the
Testing.
next 40
1, 2,
years,
3.
Larry
Testing.
Lavalley,
1,
so I'm
2,
not worried
3.
about that.
I sure hope so. I sure hope so.
I can hear
It's
him.
been a long time.
That's
And I've
awesome,
seen a
Larry.
lot
We
of
appreciate a
great
lot to join
ladies.
us tonight, Larry. Very kind of you. Really, we want to see you more often. Hopefully, you're going to come back and we have a time. See there. I was going to talk with Butch. Butch is up here again. Butch, are you there, Butch? You have some problem with the camera. Anyway, last question, and after for Larry. Any question you have, Mister, and after for Larry?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you, Larry, because I know we've spoken on many different occasions in the chat, outside
Yes.
the chat, and you've always been quite the gentleman, and I appreciate your input on things as well. And it's always a pleasure to have you join us on a nightly basis. It's once you
Thank
get
you.
that family feeling going, you look forward to it every day.
I just love talking to you, Enortap. You and Coach are great. They're great people for me. It reminds me of being home.
We really appreciate you
that-
guys to be with
Thank
us,
you.
Larry, for that one.
Thank
over there.
you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
We have RG join us. You can sit
Have a
with
good
us,
night.
Larry, if you want to, if you don't mind. And then RJ, we want to say hi to you, RJ. Welcome
How you
back.
guys doing?
How are
Hey,
you,
RJ.
buddy?
I'm
How
going
are
to
you?
say goodnight, Coach. And I wish you all a Merry Christmas. And again, thank you for all your efforts in the channel. Wishing all the Hab Nations a very, very good Christmas and especially
Same,
health.
sir.
Cheers.
Thanks so
Salut,
much.
Thank you,
Maurice.
Maurice.
Thanks so much,
Happy
Mr.
New Year.
Maurice. Maurice was with us.
We'll give
Sit
the
with
chance
us,
to somebody
monsieur.
else.
RJ, what's going on with you? Happy birthday, RJ. I think on Wednesday, I believe, right?
Yes, I did. Turned 35 years old.
Awesome. Congratulations, RJ. What are you looking for Christmas on you and your family? RJ, guy, is in New Jersey. I don't know the city, but he's in New Jersey, RJ.
Yes. I live in New Jersey, yes.
Are you, go ahead.
Watch. I watch a lot. I watch a lot of Montreal games a lot. I watch all the other games a lot. I watch Montreal games. I watch all the NHL games on NHL. I watch all. I watch them on TV every day. They have a good team. They got a good team this year. They need to get their heads up and get the win to the next game.
Are you going to visit your family in New York during the Christmas time?
No.
No? You
No.
stay in New Jersey?
No. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Now, no high school football now for a couple of months,
Art,
or you're going to have more time to take care about the
My,
sport here in
I
Montreal.
get a new football coach. My old coach is leaving this year. I'm getting a new coach now.
Awesome. Ajay, hold a little bit. We're going to put you on the hold. We're going to welcome Sébastien. I don't know if Sébastien can hear us. Sébastien in the chat somewhere. Sébastien, are you alive? Maybe not. Sébastien.
Sebastian. Looks like Darth
Hey
Vader.
guys, how's it going?
Sebastian, how are you?
Enortap.
Or should
What's
we call
going
you
on?
John?
Hey coach, how's it
Comment
going,
ça va,
coach?
mon Sébastien?
Oh, it's going good. Montreal won 3 games in a row, 6 points, 6 in the Atlantic Division. Things are going good now, coach. It's going a little better, a little bit better.
What you expect? What do you do for Christmas? Anything? Any plan? Any projects going on in front of you? Any plan?
Oh no, coach, I'm not doing anything. I'm just taking it easy. It's very cold outside, and there's no point of going outside. Nothing to do outside.
I see. Awesome. What do you expect for the game tomorrow, Columbus, Montreal? What are your prediction of the game?
I predict Montreal's going to win that game, maybe by 2 goals. Easy win for Montreal, piece of cake. They just got to play as a team, do what they were doing the past 3 games. Everything should be fine.
I love it. Positive about that. Devin, any question you have for Sébastien, Devin?
I don't really. I don't know. It's really cool to get to meet a lot of you guys. As you know, I'm the new guy here. Coach called me the rookie earlier. It's nice to meet everybody. Face to face.
You are the rookie.
Are you a Canadiens fan, Sébastien? Are you where are you located? Where are you coming from?
Of course. I'm a Canadiens fan. I'm located in Montreal, and I've been watching the Canadiens for a long time, but I'm very disappointed they haven't made the playoffs for a long time.
He likes steaks.
It's been a struggle. Yeah, it's been a struggle,
No,
but it's moving in
Ken
the right
Hughes likes
direction.
steaks. I don't like steaks that much. I know Ken Hughes likes steaks, but anyways, I think they can make the playoffs. It's still possible, guys. They can make the playoffs, but they need to start not letting points get away from them. They let too many games get away from them in the past few weeks.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that, Sébastien. We're going back to Mathieu upstairs in the corner. Enortap, any question you have for Mr. Mathieu from Alberta?
Yeah, Matthew, tell us, what's your biggest wish for the Edmonton Oilers this year?
That they missed the playoffs? How many family members I have that are Oiler fans is annoying.
Really? So you have no affiliation to the Oilers?
My dad was the eldest of 9 there, and every one of his siblings other than him, his kids or his siblings like the Oilers. So it's like the last couple of years has been hard to live in this province because, well, you guys watch the games. There's a lot of Habs fans here, but we're pretty subdued and quiet right now. We still like to chirp and people.
And is the rivalry as big as they say between Calgary and Edmonton?
Oh yeah, it is. It was like the old Nordique Habs rivalry. Like it could get. It was almost like hooligan style sometimes. Like when we were kids, I don't know if they do the programs where you guys are, but like they'll give the schools like free hockey tickets sometimes, right? To the schools to certain kind of games. So when our schools would go, I would either wear a Habs jersey or nothing, and then the whole bus would be like 30 Oiler fans and like 2 Flames fans, and the beacon would go on, and then you'd go up to the arena, and you would hear all the F-bombs, and like it can get pretty ridiculous at those games. And you guys have seen the Red Mile when they lose in playoffs. It's like Montreal. It's like, oh my God. Western Canadian version of Montreal when they lose a playoff game. We riot and tear down half of Calgary.
Amazing.
And they do get that rivalry is pretty insane sometimes. The problem
It seems to have tamed down a little bit.
What's that?
It seems to have tamed down a little bit the last couple of years. Maybe because Calgary hasn't been quite at the same level.
Losing Kachuk and God rest his soul, Johnny there, it really took that rivalry kind of back a little bit because, and then trading Markstrom, but Calgary is one of those surprising teams as we have all thought this year because let's face it, we were all hoping they would bottom ditch it and we'd get a decent draft pick as long as it didn't get below 10, it is, right? So it's one of those things where losing so many people that they lost, you would thought the rivalry was going to step back, but this year with how well they're playing, it's kind of reunited it.
Right.
Awesome, Matthew. We're going to, before we move on, we're going to welcome, beside Matthew, is Pete Martin right there in the middle, at the top. Below is Bush. Bush is with us. So we tried to talk with Bush. Bush, can you hear us, Bush?
Yes.
Ah, now he was.
There we go.
No,
Hey,
Bush, we
Bush.
can hear you, my friend. Welcome back, Bush. First of all, happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Glad to see you tonight. Bush has emailed me many times. We have become friends together. And we want to ask you, Bush, what do you expect for the Montreal Canadiens tomorrow against the Columbus Blue Jackets?
Well, is it home or away?
Away.
Away.
That looks like an old Canada Cup jersey.
I don't want to hear those cannons going off at all.
It is.
I don't like a cannon. So I say the Canadians win.
Province,
No cannons tomorrow night. Zero.
Here we go. I love it. I love it.
Shut out. I love it.
I love it.
Habs win.
Bush.
Yeah, I would say they could win 4-1.
4-1. Awesome. Bush, what do you wish for the Montreal? What you would like Montreal do in the next couple of weeks and month to help in Montreal, or for you? What you would like happening to the Montreal?
Well, I think that they need to move on from Dvorak, Armia, at least. No, those two can't stay. They have to go on, and there's room in Laval to bring up other players. I'd also like to see the Canadians bring up the two defensemen. One, I know they can't bring up Reinbacher yet, but I can't think of the other one. What's his name? 26 on Laval. Mayu. I think that maybe a few games at the end of the season, but next year I'd like to see him in the lineup.
Good point about that, Bush. Honestly, we see what happening with the Montreal Canadiens, but it's looking good to watching the Montreal Canadiens. It's a good time to watching the Laval Rocket. Laval won again today, but it's called 3-1. A lot of action, big fight, guys, between Florent Jacquet and Bedin today. And then we want also to thank to watching the World Junior Championship during the week upcoming. This is a really good time to watching the junior. I don't know, Bush, are you looking for watching Team USA versus Team Canada this year?
Well, I don't pay that much attention to that, but I do pay a lot of attention watching your great broadcast on the Laval Rocket. I am so appreciative that you do that. It's really, I'm a big Laval fan. Big Laval fan. I've been there for quite a while, about 3 years, and I love their new coach. This guy is really good.
You're absolutely right, Bush, about Pascal Vincent. You're absolutely right about this. It's fun to watch in Laval Rocket, guys. Like I said, I cannot do all the game, but when we have an opportunity to it, we do the play-by-play.
Hey, Coach. Coach.
Yep.
Coach, regarding the trades, I want to just add a few things, but they should keep Brendan Gallagher. They should keep Newhook. They shouldn't trade those players. Only player should trade right now is the goalie. You got to trade Primo. You got to trade Primo. You got to trade Ken Hughes, his freezer full of steak. Get a young goalie from a losing team. That's going to mix things up. It's going to shake things up a little bit for the Canadians.
It could happen about that one for sure. All right, we want to welcome Bush. We're going to put you on the hold a little bit. We want to welcome Pierre Martin or Pete Martin is in the house, guys. We're going to open the line for Pete. Hold on, I'm going to get this one over there. Sometimes I put mute people. If not, it's confusing. So, Pete, welcome in the house. First time. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Thank you very much, Coach. Thanks, everybody. Enortap, everybody. Love you guys. you make my I stopped watching hockey for many years. I came back when Coach and Enortap got me up to point. It was very very cool. You guys, you taught me a lot. Um, but I did see all of those Stanley Cups from the late 70s, early 80s. I went to the parades. I was working at Eaton's downtown. I had my own little. There was like a what do they call it? Overhang from the doors. It was right on the sidewalk. It took the whole sidewalk, and I could see Guy Lafleur. I could see all those guys go right past me, just right there. It was a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, it was, Pete. Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was a beautiful thing. I think I saw 7 Stanley Cups parades go by. I used to go
That's
to a lot of
amazing.
games. Got kicked out of games because I was a little bit too nasty with the Boston fans. But shit happens, I guess. I lived right across the street at that point, so it was no problem. You guys hear me fine?
And Pete,
Yep,
I
we
see
hear ya.
you have quite the extensive collection there of
Yeah,
memorabilia.
That's only a small part. Here's my latest, I guess. It's a little Hot Wheels with the Montreal Canadiens Mustang.
Oh,
nice.
Mustang.
I love
Oh,
it.
wow.
Well, I actually have tons and tons of stuff, but I can't take it all out. I just got my eye surgery. So that's my Christmas gift there. I love it. Everything is so beautiful and bright, and the colors. It's amazing. It's fantastic. I'm so happy. Yeah. I'll tell you,
That's great.
the one thing I really hope for the new year is that Slavkovsky starts using his size and his weight and instead of hitting with his hands like this, go with your shoulder, go with your body. I bet you he's as strong as Jack Guy. Like
Well,
physically.
Slavkovsky, I think he just needs it. Just take time. He's a big boy. He looks awkward sometimes, like you said when he hits. But I think you're right. He reminds me though. He has that Forsberg Yager kind of like that physical body strength where he can, if he can figure out how to use that more, he'll get more goals. Because when he beats into guys, you guys see he just pushes guys away. Like he is such a strong young man.
Yeah,
I think he just needs to. His biggest thing, I think I notice is the confidence for Slavkovsky. When he gets down on himself, he gets away from, he gets that mental game lost, and then he gets caught up trying to do too much. It's kind of where Doc is, I think, too. Is Doc just needs to. I think Doc needs to spend 2 or 3 games in the press box to decompress, get some mental focus, and realize that you got to play more relaxed.
They need to play old-time hockey.
At times he does too much, and then at times he does not enough. Like he needs just to release his brain and just play hockey.
That's a great picture you have there, Dan.
It will come. It will come. It's a big transition. He's come overseas at a young age, and he's not used to. He's slowly starting to get used to the North American type of hockey, and that means being physical. It'll come with time. I'm almost 100%.
The guy that surprised me from the Europe side, hey guys, would be Heineman. Holy, he fit right in with the physicality. He's done it right. He is, and how many people realize he's third in rookie scoring for goals, or he was at one point there. In the first Detroit game, they said he was third at the time when he got that goal. So I was like, wow,
right. Yeah.
Enortap, did you recognize the picture?
Oh, they're all beautiful. Look at that.
I got Gila Flair picture. I'll show you. I got Gila Flair picture. I will show you the Gila Flair picture.
That's Ken Dryden.
How's that for a picture?
See, you stirred poor Dan up. He's showing us his collection now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Does anybody have a picture of Gila Flair? I do. And
Gila
I'll show you
Flair's
some
what?
other pictures. I'll get some other pictures. Look at this.
Awesome. Again, we're going to go around one more time before we leave. We don't want to hold in everybody here, but I think it
Okay,
was a great experience about that. Um,
let me ask Enortap a question. I'll tell you a
Yes,
story,
go ahead.
Enortap. Okay, I'm a Jets
Sure.
fan, right? I was
Yep.
at the last Jets game. Well, I watched Guy Lafleur play the last Jets game here when he played for the New York Rangers. Every time he touched the puck, they go gee gee. Every time he touched the puck, and that was nowhere
Well,
lie. I was at the last game, so that's my memory growing up watching Guy
that's
Lafleur
amazing.
play for the Rangers. How many people have seen Guy Lafleur play for the Rangers? Anybody?
Yeah. It's
No.
it's
But
unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
besides you, anybody else?
I saw him play.
I didn't hear the
Oh, I
question.
know.
Just for the Habs.
No,
I
for the
saw him in
Rangers.
person. Yeah.
I saw him play for the Rangers and for the
Okay,
Nordiques.
another one. I seen an old timers game. He played an old timers game here too. So I've seen him many times. But
I was
Yeah.
at his
He's
I was at his
sorry,
first
and I
game.
met him too.
I was at his first game back at the Forum when he returned to Montreal as a New York Ranger. I was stood in the standing
Okay.
room behind the red, right at center ice, and that arena, I'll never experience anything like that ever again. That was unbelievable. Like the crowd, the
Well,
standing ovation,
I know
unbelievable.
he got celebration here too. And every time he touched the puck, they'd yell "Gee!" Yeah, it was just like, wow. Like I
Yeah.
can't experience anything like it. Like really. And look at
But
me, I got the
that was
Habs.
everywhere. Dan, that was
Well, I
everywhere.
know,
It
right?
wasn't.
Well,
I know, but look, I got the Habs
and my
Christmas
favorite part
hat
about
on.
Guy is the smoking a beer between periods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the class. All I
How
can
many
think is the
how
class
many
act.
NHLers can do that nowadays? Smoking a beer or two between each period
Oh, nobody can do
and
that.
going 4-3-4 goals.
Yeah, but like Coach
quite the
said, like
smoker.
he's a
Yeah,
class act.
as he's smoking a cigarette on the bench.
Oh, for sure. And look, I'm all dressed up today in the Habs outfit, pajamas, my ugly Christmas shirt, and the hat. Nobody else. Now that's a real Habs fan,
awesome,
right?
Dan.
That's it.
That's Dan. I appreciate that. We're going to do a round and we have a look like it's a cat night. Enortap, you have a cat, Enortap?
I have a cat too, but nice, Sebastian. Nice.
We just
Don't you
Sebastian
love them
with
when they
the
come
cat
across the
right
screen
there.
like mine just did?
Yeah, Matthew just see the cat over there.
My outfit.
That's awesome. Look, we're going to go
Hey,
table
you like my
around
you like my
before we
outfit?
leave, everybody. If you don't mind, that'd be great. We're going to start with RJ Calabro. RJ, what you wish for 2025? What are you looking for 2025, RJ?
Habs win Stanley Cup.
Well, I will give you my wish for you for RJ, but be back every night to give us all the score and update for the NHL. RJ, you're going to. I think you're the old. I think. Hold on, RJ. I think we owe you. RJ is right here. I apologize, RJ. I put you on the mute. So tell us a little bit more, RJ.
All right. I, you want me to get you guys to the updates for this week or tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow night we do the game Columbus, Montreal. Hopefully, see you tomorrow night. You'll be there.
Yep, I'll be here I'll be here all the game. Last day for the week.
Awesome,
Thank you
RJ.
for all the updates. Thank you
RJ.
for all the updates, RJ.
He is the man.
RJ.
RJ is the man.
RJ, you do a great job with all the updates. I just have one
Yep.
wish for you.
What?
You never say hello to me when I say hi, RJ. Why?
I always say hi to Enortap. I always say
You
hi.
never say.
No, I
I do.
That's,
Every time you're set, I say hi. Every
Yeah,
time,
I know.
right?
I know that.
I'm
awesome.
a little follower. Come on. I'm on every night, right? Intertap, I'm on every night.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Absolutely.
are,
Me and my
Dan.
wife, right?
Yes. I'm going to go with Larry. Larry, what are you looking for now for the upcoming week for you and your family? And what you looking for for 2025, Larry?
Well, I just want to thank everybody at Hockey Nation Live in order for a great year. And I want the Canadians to do their best. We'll wait for another year or two. And just thank you, everybody. Thank you, Coach, for everything you do to make me enjoy the rest of my life, anyways.
You're
And
welcome, Larry, and
and
we want to thank for your service you did also many years. So, on for all of you here, all the people here, we said thanks so much for everything, Larry. Very great man, and you contribute a lot on this channel. So I want to say it again, thank you so much. I'm very grateful for your super
you're
chat.
very welcome.
So thanks so much. Let's move on to Pete Martin. Pete Martin with a lot of collection. We saw the Rocky, Vachon, and everything. Pete, what is next for you for the upcoming week?
Hey, listen, I'm extremely grateful for my life, the life of all my friends, my family. Everything is like fantastic. I wish everybody to be happy in 2025 and to, my daughter is studying in Australia. She's been here in Quebec for the last 3 weeks on her. She finished her third year of medicine. She has one more year in Australia, and things are just can't be any better. Honestly, I'm humbled by everything that I've been gifted in my life, and Coach and Enortap, especially YouTube, because you brought me back into the game, into the hockey game. I gave up on hockey. I didn't like it. But now I'm a true fan again of the Montreal Canadiens. I don't really follow too much of the other teams, but as far as the Habs go, I love them. That's about it. So I wish everybody peace and love in 2025 and that everything goes well for them.
Thanks so much, Pete. Very well express your wish,
Thank
and
you,
we
Pete.
want the same to you for the upcoming year, 2025. And Matthew and Alberta, glad to see you. First of all, Matthew, glad to have you aboard. Hopefully, to see you again, honestly. But
Well,
what is for you, Matthew, in 2025?
Hopefully health and prosperity for me and my family. Was off for a bit with a work injury. I had back surgery here last February, so it's been a recovery back. But from there, I just want some health and prosperity for me and my family, and for my two sons to graduate high school. And yeah, you know, just enjoy some good weather, and we have a prosperous country as well. But have us all be able to afford everything and do well in the future. That's what I want for us all.
Hopefully, we're going to get looking. I'm going to send you some sun from Thailand to get a bit more warm for the next couple of months for you, Matthew. About that, we're going to go with Butch. Butch, what are you looking for 2025? And Vermont.
I'm looking for one thing, Coach. I'm looking for Coach Frenchy to be 100% healthy.
Thanks so much. Very kind of you, man. I appreciate a lot. Really touched my heart.
I
Very
agree.
kind, both you said that. And I wish the same for you and your family. Have a great time, holidays, Butch. And of course, and I can't wait to see you and to hear your email. Every time Antoine make a move or Laval Rocket, Butch email me, asking me question about that. So very kind to keep our relationship together about that. And then we're going to finish with Sebastien. We'll keep Devin and Enortap with me until the end. Sebastien, what are you looking for 2025?
Yes, Coach. I would like to see the Montreal Canadiens make the playoffs for the first time in 4 years. The rebuild is over.
Here we go.
Maybe a little
This
early.
man
But
The
is
rebuild is
positive.
done.
This man is
Go, Seb,
positive
go.
all the time.
Sebastian,
The rebuild is taking too long,
with the
Coach. It needs
Quebec
to stop. The
Nordiques?
Canadiens need to make the playoffs right now. The time is now.
The time is now. I like that. The time is now. You're absolutely right about
No
that.
time to waste.
You're
You
absolutely
imagine
about
if
that.
you imagine if
they need
Jeff
a
Gordon
goal. You
had
have to
said
get
that
that
at the
rebuild
golf
on.
course instead of in the mix, he had said the time is now. Imagine what the media would do with that.
About that, all right, guys, we want to wish you an amazing, great night. And after Devin, stay with me, finish the show. You guys would be great to see each of you. We're going to do more often. I think it's fun to do that Friday night. I think it will be fun to have all of you with us. Great experience to see Sébastien Bush. We have Matthew. Thanks to see with us. Larry Lavallée and Pete Martin. We wish you an amazing, great Merry Christmas for all of you.
RJ.
And Happy New Year. And I can
RJ
wait to see you
too.
at the next show tomorrow night.
Merry
Montreal
Christmas.
versus Columbus Blue
Merry
Jackets.
Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks so much, Matthew.
Likewise.
Have a good night.
Nice to meet all of you, sirs.
Thanks,
guys.
The
Sébastien.
pleasure was all
Likewise.
mine.
Thank you for joining us.
Good night, Coach.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Devin and
Sebastian.
Enortap
Enjoy the
with me.
steak.
Good night.
Have a good night, boys. Merry
Good night,
Christmas.
Larry.
Coach, I tell
Good
you,
night,
I got a
guys.
breaking news for you. Breaking news before I
Good night,
left.
RJ. Good night. Good night, Butch. And here we go. Look like we clean up the house by one, everything like that. We're going to go back, guys. I'm going to maybe make another screen, if you don't mind, Devin, and after we'll see if it works. Don't worry, Devin, I'm going to find you. I switched a lot of camera left and right. You know how this works, Devin. Camera 1, 2, 3, 4. I switched all the number, everything like that. But is that finished with wish list? What do you feel about that experience in Enortap the last couple of minutes?
Oh, it's absolutely magnificent, coach. It's something I think we should do more often from time to time. It's always great when we have conversations in the chat, and it's even better to put a face to the name. And as you can see, everybody is very special in their own way. So thank you for those guys that came on, and hopefully some others will join us next time.
Yeah, absolutely about that. It was great. Hopefully, see you, Luciano. Luciano, is the daughter. And I wish we have a confrontation, AK versus Matthew. Imagine with Randy between. So we have Edmonton, we have the Flame, and we have Montreal Canadiens. What a great combination we can get in our tap with all of them. Devin, first of all, in our tap, we have to tell this right now. Devin, right now, is approximately midnight. He's still with us all night. Is 1 hour in front of us. So, Devin, thanks to be with us late like that. It was a pleasure to have you aboard tonight, but also to become a co-host, familiar with the Family Hockey Nation show and Ab Nation. And we wish you an amazing, great 2025 year for you and your family, Devin. But how you feel about this experience? I know you work with the ACAM software, but you can see how I manage a little bit the situation with the camera, everything like that. How you feel about that?
Well, you did a hell of a job, Coach. I know that's not an easy thing to do. You did a hell of a job of managing all that. It's neat for me to see and to meet some of the people who you otherwise just see in the comments and you don't really know who they are. As you said, I'm the rookie here. I don't know a lot of these people. I don't even know them in the comments. So it was really cool to see them. And as Enortap says, everybody's got their own special personality. And I think it's nice to talk directly to the people too, because we kind of find, we get so caught up in our own lives and the way we watch the game and the way we approach the game. We kind of, it's easy to get out of touch a little bit with the, with the everyday fans, the guys who, are the heart and soul of the Canadiens fan base. Because, we do kind of get caught up in our own world and we kind of get a little caught up, what do they say? Paralysis by analysis. We just, it's nice to talk to people that are just, the pure, real hockey fans, right? They just love their team and they want to see their team do well. So it's kind of cool to talk to them that way as well. It's kind of cool.
You're absolutely right about that. We have a couple of 3 more minutes. Prediction for tomorrow night, so Enortap, Montreal, Columbus Blue Jackets. What are you looking for?
Well, I'm just looking for a continuation of what we've seen the last 3 or 4 games. I think that they're capable of it. I'm going to go with a prediction of Montreal 4-1.
Is it someone said the same thing? Is it Bush said that?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, Butch said that.
And Devin Enortap is a copycat.
Okay, 4-2. 4-2.
Here we go. Devin, what are you looking for?
First of all, I'm disappointed that you didn't get the Bible out tonight and confirm that I was the only person who picked the Canadiens to go 3-0 last week. But Anyways, we'll
Wait,
move on.
wait. You have to record. We have to watch the record because, as I said, approximately at 12 minutes at the beginning of the show, when we did the review of the game, I said Devin did it. Then I said Abination did it, and he said no, I did not do it. It was 4. Then Mark Elliott said I did it, 6 points. So you and Mark Elliott have 6 points this week.
Mark Elliott is also a really good contributor on my show as well. So Mark Elliott's awesome.
But Devin, you can say one thing. When you said 6 points, I laughed when you said that last week. So I have to give credit for that one.
As far as the game in Columbus, same as Mar. I almost called you Marko Enortap. I'm sorry. It's the same thing. I've said it before, and Enortap just said it. We want us. This team will become a winning team and a contending team when they can carry the momentum from game to game to game to game. When they start doing it on a consistent basis, when they start doing it every night, when it becomes the rule and not the exception, when they do this every night, when they beat the teams that they're supposed to beat. Columbus is a team that they're supposed to beat, and that's when they'll become a contender. And I will give the Canadiens I'll go 5-1. Repeat of the score against Detroit last night.
Overtime game tomorrow night between both of them. I know you don't like it, but Montreal is going to lose on overtime.
Yeah, it's not going to be straight up. It's a roller coaster.
And the reason I said that, I'm worried about one thing, and Devin and after. I think it could be too much for Montreal, both 3 games in 4 nights.
I agree.
That's the only thing my concern. I don't want to be negative, guys. I'm not negative at all, but I'm just trying to. It'll be really tough time. Yeah, Montreal is struggling sometime in Columbus, by the way, and I don't know. I think Montreal. When you go at the last game before Christmas, guys, on the road, your mind is somewhere else. Where we're moving after the game, because some player like Caulfield now return to Montreal. Caulfield is going to home, and you know what I mean. Many distractions. Hopefully, Martin Saint does a good job. He said, "Hey boys, one more game to go. We need to finish this strong. We know what you expect after Christmas, so maybe the speech of Martin Saint can motivate those players." And the win the last week can motivate them to finish with 4W. This is my wish. I hope they're going to get it, but not necessary. We wish you, both of you, a great Merry Christmas. I'm going to see you live tomorrow night, but I want to wish both of you great time with your family and your friends. I want to say thanks for your participation tonight. I'm going to finish the show late by myself because now the time is, the music is up about that. But I can tell you one more thing because that's who you are. You are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. Be well, be healthy. Find a way not only to donate your day, but find a way to donate the second half of what? Both of you at the same time. Let's try it.
Your
2024.
They did it like an Acadien. Maybe that's the way they do that over there in Enortap. Who knows about
that?
Yeah,
maybe.
Devin,
listen.
Thank you so much. Enortap, always a pleasure to work with you. We wish you both of you a great night, a great week, and I can't wait to hear from you the next couple of days. Good night, everybody.
Definitely. Good night,
Merci,
everyone.
Coach. Thank you.
Coach.
Joyeux Noël.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Joyeux Noël.
Take care, Devin.
That's the way
You
to say
too.
that. Joyeux Noël, everybody.
Joël
Thanks so
Noël.
much. Good night. Here we go, guys. This concludes another show tonight. We're going to be a little bit late to conclude the Hockey Nation show. The Habs Nation will tell you more things. We love you, friends. Good night, everyone. Oh. Booyah! Good night.